Okay, we should be live here. We should be live. Let's see if everything's okay. Everything should be okay here. And yeah, we should be live right now. Hopefully you guys are finding this stream okay and everything's going all right here. I'm going to wait until we get a couple of viewers in until we start properly. We start our full WNBA preview, lads, as that is what this stream is going to be right now. Obviously, we got one concurrent right here, and we got one viewer. I do want to see just in general. Hopefully, the stream ends up being okay. And hopefully the stream quality is all right for you guys as well. Because obviously, like, I'm reading chat over here, which is a little bit awkward. But if somebody could type in chat, that'd be greatly, greatly appreciated. We've only got 3 viewers in right now, but sure, look, there will be more. We will start our preview once we get to like 40 viewers, 30, 40. And we will start the old preview. We got 4 people in here, 1 like. It's midnight. It's actually, in fact, 1 a.m. for me. It is 43 minutes past 12. So I'm going to be making this, and it's going to be a long stream, a real long stream. We might be streaming for 2 and a bit hours. So you might be streaming till close to 3 a.m. right now, but I want to do a preview of everything. I want to be thorough. I want to do a preview of absolutely everything when it comes to the WNBA season. And you will be seeing on the hour, every hour tomorrow. You guys are going to be seeing cut-ups of this coming out every hour. So if you've been here for the stream, then fair play. If you've been watching this on stream, fair play. But tomorrow it's going to be on the hour every hour. So we have enough people right here that we are going to start us off. We're going to start off right now with my preseason prediction for who the worst team in the WNBA is going to be. Yeah, so we are going to be predicting who I think is the worst team in the WNBA right now. And for me, more than likely, the worst team in the WNBA is going to be a team who started off as the best team in the WNBA last season. The Connecticut Sun. I have the Sun as my worst team in the WNBA. I have a weird feeling that they are going to all out tank. Like, they're going to all out tank. They're trying to sell the team. They sold all their season tickets because it's probably the last time they're going to be in Connecticut. I think they're going to fully tank. If you look at this team's roster, obviously they're not down. They haven't cut it all the way. And it's just not very good, is it? Like, is Diamond Shields good? Yeah. She's okay. Diamond Shields is fine. Is Marina Mabry good? Yeah. And like, again, look, Diamond Shields pre-back injury was a star. Not a star anymore. JC Sheldon. JC Sheldon's ironically my pick for most improved player. Her and Nelson Adoda are both in the conversation for that. But if you look at the rest of the team, like, Rhea Marshall's not going to do much. Especially for a bad team. She's not going to do too much. And Lindsay Allen's not great. I don't know who's going to make the team. I don't know about these rookies. Like, I don't know what's, like, how Sinai Rivers is going to bounce back. Hopefully she's okay. Obviously bigger things than basketball there. Don't know the situation with Anissa Morrow's injury. Like, Tina Charles is obviously going to be one of their main players. But, like, how good can you be with Tina Charles, your best player? And then Layla Lacan is very clearly just, she cares more about playing for the national team than playing for Connecticut. It's a really bad team. Nobody can shoot other than Marina Mabry. They have one shooter, and it's not like Marina Mabry isn't streaky. Like, can Diamond Shield shoot? No. Sorry, well, they have 2 shooters. Sorry, JC Sheldon. JC Sheldon can shoot. So, that's it. They got 2 shooters. Who's a good defender on the team? Nelson Adoda, okay. Decent defender. like barely played. She was projected. A lot of people projected him to protect Burton instead of her in the expansion draft. Like, do they have any defenders? Like, I don't know if Sanaya Rivers is going to be able to guard the WNBA level. I assume she can. I don't know how well Anissa Morrow is going to be on the defensive end. And I just don't see this team winning double-digit games. And the reason, I know the Sky have their pick, which a lot of people think, oh, they're going to try to win games. The reality is they don't make the play. Like, if they win 25 games, say not 25, sorry. If they win 18 games and don't make the playoffs, and the Sky get the 5th pick, it doesn't matter because it's on a 2-year deal. It's on a 2 years. They could win 0 games this season, and because they won close to 30 last year, they're still going to have a better average wins than a lot of the teams at the bottom. If they go 8-36, which is probably not unrealistic, if they go 8-36, they are going to be still the like 4th or 5th most likely to be number 1. And yeah, the pick's going to Chicago. Chicago are going to get that high pick. They're probably going to go and use it on a guard. They don't need Betts. And the rest of that draft is guards. They don't need Awafam. So regardless, like, the Sky, you just hope AZ Foot falls in your lap. Because, again, AZ Foot is probably the best case scenario for the Sky. You just never know what's going to happen in the college year. But, like, they're terrible. And, like, they started off season against the Mystics. They should win. They should at least be competitive in that game. But then they play Vegas, Minnesota, Atlanta. Maybe they do okay in Dallas. Then Indiana, Liberty, Atlanta again. They have a hell start to the season. They don't have, outside of a Wings game and the first game of the season, they have a really difficult start. Like, they don't have a good start at all. This is not easy. When is the first time they have 2 not difficult games in a row? I think the Sky are good. So, I genuinely, day 1 game clinic against the Mercury. So, they're playing again a game against the Mercury on a back. Is this a back-to-back? What? I'm confused. Is this before the game? I don't know what's going on here. But, like, if we're, like, the Sun don't have a good stretch. They played the Mercury, the Wings, and the Valkyries at the end of June. They have that 3-game stretch. And they might go win 2 or 3 there. But, like, my prediction is single-digit wins. Single-digit wins. This is a team who's, you can argue their best player is their second best player is JC Sheldon. Like, I rate Marina Mabry highly as a player. I think she's somebody that can come in and do something. But, like, she's going to go and just start to get hers. Marina Mabry might average 17 a game. She might just go chuck. But I just don't see Marina Mabry being anything too crazy for this team. I don't think she's going to get you wins. I don't think she's going to get a crazy amount of wins for you. So, yeah, I don't understand why they would, like, or how they're not going to be last. Like, a lot of people are putting the Valkyries last, and the Valkyries aren't very good, but, like, they are trying, like, because, again, of the way things are going, like, the Dallas Wings are not going to try to lose games. They're not going to try to lose games. They might win. They might lose games anyway, but they're not going to try to lose games purely because you've got Paige Bueckers, you've got all this. And to be fair, they're neither, like, the thing aren't trying to lose games either, the Valkyries, but they're just not good enough. And, like, the Sun need to lose a bunch of games because the Sun need to suck for 2 years. They need to suck for 2 years. Even though they don't have their pick this year, they have to suck for 2027 because they need one of those top picks. They need a Madison Booker. They need a Juju Watkins. They need one of those top picks. 2026 is already a write-off. They've already screwed that with the Marina Mabry trade. They've already screwed over this year because of the Marina Mabry trade. And you know what? Had Marina Mabry not gotten injured, they probably make the WNBA finals. So I don't I don't hate it. I don't, like, in hindsight, 2020. We can look back on it in hindsight about how bad it is, and we can talk about it like that, but that's all you're going to get, is you're going to be getting, you're going to be getting a lot of hindsight talk right there. Like, a lot of people talking about this, this team, but, like, I've never seen a team go from so good to so bad in a year. I genuinely never have. Outside of, like, I don't know, Cleveland losing LeBron. That's maybe the only thing that I can think of, is Cleveland losing LeBron. How a team went so bad so quick. How they just got horrendous, like how they got so bad so quick, and it just did not work out. That would be the only comparison to something like this. But I've never seen a team lose their entire starting five before. And the only real player you brought in fairness, you got JC Sheldon, who's not a bad pickup, and the only other player you brought in is Tina Charles, who's basically retired, who's as good as retired. Let's be real. So 13th team in the WNBA, we're going with the Connecticut Sun. So 12th best team in the WNBA. We had the Sun as our worst best team. We are actually going to say the Valkyries. The Golden State Valkyries. Oh no, that is the Twitter Valkyries. The Golden State Valkyries are my second worst team. And I actually in my original draft of this, I had the Golden State Valkyries above the team I have one spot ahead. And this was a really tricky one. I'm going to put them 12. I had them 11 in my original draft. I had them 11, and I think 12, 11 is fair. And I think maybe you can go as high as 10. The Golden State Valkyries have picked their final roster, and they are way better than people think. Like, people do not understand how good some of these players are. So Carla Late, a lot of people are like, oh, the Golden State Valkyries got rid of their rookies. Carla Late is 2 years younger than Cheyenne Sellers? I think she's like a year and a half younger than Cheyenne Sellers. And they're like, oh, she got rid of Caitlin Chen. Caitlin Chen is a 5th-year senior. I think, if I'm not mistaken, what year is Caitlin Chen born in? And they were like, oh, they don't want Aiden for the future. So what age is Caitlin Chen? Or was Caitlin Chen, she might only been a 4th year. No, Caitlin Chen is born in 2002. Do you want to know who on the Valkyries is like 4 months older than Caitlin Chen? Janelle Salon. Carla Late is 2 and a bit years younger than Caitlin Chen. And Janelle Salon is a few months older. So people are like, oh, the Valkyries don't have youth. Just because they don't have any young American players does not mean they are they're not an old team at all. Carla Late, fantastic guard. Kayla Thornton is a bit of depth. Steph Talbot isn't bad. The only reason I think they kept Steph Talbot is I heard she's on a protected contract. But I would still just get rid of her on a protected contract. I don't care. I would still get rid of her on a protected contract. You have the money to do it. I just don't see what Steph Talbot brings. At least Caitlin Chen brought jersey sales. Janelle Salon could be rookie of the year. Later on in the video or in the stream, or depending on whether you're watching this, whether it be a stream, whether you're watching this on video, whatever you're watching this on, Janelle Salon could genuinely be the best rookie in the WNBA. And like, I'm not just saying that. Like, she would, if she went to college and she was entered the draft now, she'd be what, top 4 pick? Temmie's hasn't looked good in preseason. She's solid. I think Tiffany Hayes is going to be really good this year. She is a player I think could be an all-star. Has looked garbage in preseason though. Has absolutely looked garbage. Kate Martin, fine. Like, she's going to be Kate Martin. Kate Martin's going to do Kate Martin things. I don't think Veronica Burton is going to start much of the year at the point guard. I think one of Carla Late or Julie Vanley are going to be starting. If not starting Chechi Zandalasini. The only problem is Chechi Zandalasini's leaving during the year. And that's another problem with them. I really like Kiara Linskins as well. I just like her ability to pass at the center position. I like her ability to run the pick and roll, to run the short roll, to run the pick and pop. I really like Kiara Linskins as a 3rd string big. But the only problem is that if you look at the Valkyries roster, leaving during the season, leaving during the season, probably leaving during the season. That's what, it's half their roster, and possibly leaving during the season. That's half their roster. The only thing is Carla Late, I don't think has played for the French. I don't think she's like a mainstay in the French national team. She might be. She might be with Gabby Williams gone. Like, they could lose half their team. That's the only reason I didn't have this team higher. Like, I had this team 11 pushing 10. Genuinely 11 pushing 10. But when you lose Carla Late, possibly Carla Late, definitely Temi, possibly Janelle Salone, almost certainly Chechi Zandalasini, and 100% Julie Van Loo and Kiara Linskens. Like, Belgium are not trying to not win Eurobasket. Them winning Eurobasket is their priority for these players. When you're losing that many players throughout the season, I just can't, in good faith, say that the team is out and out not one of the two worst teams. I think they're better than the Sun. I think when everyone's there, they're going to be the 11th or 10th best team. I think they've actually put together the best possible team they could have. They're going to be fun. They're going to fight. They're going to win for the crowd. And you also have to take into account they're going to have 12, 13,000 people minimum at every single one of their games. They might have 15,000 people at every single game. It does not matter how bad they are. That crowd is going to get them a couple of wins. Like, it's going to get them a few wins, and I still think that this team could be so. I think they're going to pull off big wins. I think they're not going to be great. I think they're going to pull off big wins. To start off the season, they don't have a bad start. Like, the Sparks are very beatable. The Sparks are extremely, extremely beatable. Like, they are a team that we've seen very little of, especially before Cameron Brink comes in. They're very beatable. The Mystics are very beatable. Then they play the Sparks again. They don't play a really high-level team till Game 4. Then they play, obviously, a doubleheader against the Liberties, not ideal, in New York. They're going to lose. And they play Liberty Lynx, Jesus. And they have, like, the hell run. But then again, they play the Sparks again. They play the Seattle Storm. The Seattle Storm are one injury away from imploding. The Wings, the Fever, the Sun, they have a favorable first month. Again, how many wins do I think they're going to get? I think they're going to break double digits. People are saying there's no way they're going to break 10 games. I think under 15 more than 10. And I would call 15 plus wins if I knew half the team wasn't leaving for a month. Up to Eurobasket, they have a relatively favorable schedule. I think they might get swept for the entirety of Eurobasket. I don't think they win a game during Eurobasket. And then, unfortunately, players coming back, it's hard. It's really hard to come in when your team hasn't won for a while. So that's kind of why I'm predicting them to be low. But I like this team. I think Carla Late's a great young foundational piece who they have on a 4-year deal. Great young foundational piece. Kate Martin is under contract through next season. Janelle Salone, like, if Janelle Salone wants to be in WNBA, Janelle Salone is a player I really want the Fever to get. And I want the Fever to get her as a starter. If you ask me, would I rather have Janelle Salone or Natasha Howard? Give me Janelle Salone because her timeline is the same as Caitlin Clarkson and Leah Boston. The thing is, I think she's here this year because she knows she's going to get a big role with the Valkyries. And she also knows that in a year's time, if the Valkyries want to keep her, they're going to pay her. So her coming in as an undrafted rookie, not on a 4-year rookie scale deal, on a 1-year rookie scale deal, she could make a hell of a lot of money. And I think the likes of, like, Temi signed a team-friendly contract. I think the likes of Temi, the likes of Julie Van Loo, like Julie Van Loo, Chechi Zandalasini are on training camp contracts. Julie Van Loo was a starter last year. Chechi Zandalasini was the 6th player or 7th player for the best team in the WNBA. So, if not the 2nd best team. So these players signing minimums, they know what they're doing for the Valkyries. And I think the Valkyries is an organization a lot of people are going to want to go to. I just think that Eurobasket stretch where they lose half their team is going to be the reason why I'm going to have them as the 12th ranked team in my power rankings here. So with the Valkyries in 12th, we are going to have our 11th ranked team. And I think I contemplated between two. but we're going to put the Washington Mystics. I'm going to have the Washington Mystics in here as the 11th ranked team next year. Mainly because they're not trying to win. Like, they're not trying to win. And I don't like putting teams that are... I don't like over-predicting from teams that are not trying to win. I think they've got a very... This is not a bad team. This is really not a bad team. Like, they have up there with the best... I think the only team who's a better front court rotation than them is the Sky. But, like, if you look at the roster for the Mystics, they have Shakira Austin, who has played on Team USA, is an all-star-ish level player. You've got Sika Kone, who I rate her so highly. You've got Brittany Sykes, or Emily Engstler, who can play the fours really, really well. You've got Aaliyah Edwards. You've got Steph Dolson and Kiki Riafen. Like, I genuinely, like, don't know how many minutes Kiki Riafen's going to play. Shout out Lucy Olsen, almost certainly making the roster. But, like, this is... The guard rotation for this team is Shug Sutton, Jade Melbourne, who's fine, Sykes, Citron, and Lucy Olsen. That is the worst guard rotation in the WNBA. That is worse than the Valkyries. Julie Vanloo would start for this team. No way fans or buts about that. Carla Late would start for this team. No way fans or buts about that. Like, this is as bad a guard rotation with the best big rotation. Like, when we look at pure wings, like threes, Citron kind of is a 3. Engstler's kind of a 3. That's it. You've got 2. You've got 2. Like, Kiki Riafen can't play the 3. Dolson obviously can't play the 3. Sika Kone can't play the 3. Shakira Austin, Leah Edwards, none of them can play the 3. And I understand the 2 and the 3, there's not that big of a difference, but when you've got Steph Dolson, who is a really good pick and pop big, you've got a player like that, and then you've got players like Aaliyah Edwards who might start, but Shakira Austin's going to start. Are they going to start Shakira Austin at the 5 and Aaliyah Edwards at the 4? Then why is Dolson sitting on the bench? They're trying to lose, so why do they still have Dolson on their team? If you're trying to lose, you could definitely get something for Dolson. She's not a complete toxic contract. You could have definitely gone to the Fever and said, we will give you Steph Dolson and you give us a second round pick in Katie Lou. And there's no way the Fever wouldn't have said yes to that during the offseason. Steph Dolson would have been the best backup center in the WNBA. And if Steph Dolson didn't want to come off the bench, then she sure as hell is not going to want to come off the bench for a team that stinks. Lucy Olsen isn't going to play. So I'm looking at this team right here and I'm like, you're not losing anyone to Eurobasket. But you've got the worst guard rotation we've seen. It's the worst guard rotation than both the Wings and the Sparks, who won single-digit games last year. Like, to be fair, on paper, the Wings should not have won single-digit games. The Wings just sucked. And this is their team. And I would be... If I'm them, I'm definitely... Look, I'm cutting Lucy Olsen for Grace Berger. They're the same player. Grace Berger's is better. I'm making that cut. They're both mid-range shooters. They both struggle on defense. They're both mediocre defenders. They're both at 5'10", 5'11". So, it is... I just don't rate this team very highly. I think that it's the only reason that I'm going to be watching this team. I'll be watching... And again, look, people don't understand this. I watch almost every WNBA game. Any of the 3 a.m. games, I wake up and watch them on double speed and skip through all the cutoff points and breaks. I watch every game. The only reason I'm going to be excited to watch this team play is Lucy Olsen. And I have to say, Citron is going to be solid. Sykes is fun to watch. But the thing is, Sykes is probably just going to purely focus on defense. And there's a bunch of players here. There's a whole bunch of players I like on the Mystics. They just don't have the the firepower in any way on offense from the guard position. Like, you cannot have a team that's possibly starting Shug Sutton win many games. You cannot have that. You cannot have a team possibly starting Shug Sutton in the WNBA. Like, that is like expecting to win games starting Christy Wallace. And the only person who thought that Christy Wallace was a dog was Christy Sides. Like, you're not going to win many games starting Shug Sutton. And, like, I would assume Jade Melbourne's going to start at the 1. I would assume it's going to go Melbourne, Sykes, Citron. And then who the hell plays the 4 and 5? Like, Dolson, Austin? Is Aaliyah Edwards going to play? Emily Engstler. If you're not going to play Emily Engstler, go and trade her. You can get something for Emily Engstler. Emily Engstler, Lynn Dunn, what were you doing? Emily Engstler will be so good for the Fever. You replace Bree Turner with Emily Engstler if you're the Fever, and you are golden. You're absolutely golden if you made that swap. And the Fever freaking had her. She should still be on her rookie deal. She should still be on her rookie deal for the Fever. But obviously Lynn Dunn goofed. But yeah, the Mystics, like, starting off the season, like the Dream game, is that their first? That's the first game night of the season, isn't it? If I'm not mistaken, yeah, that's the first night of the season. I'm not watching that live. I'm watching the Wings, but that's the first game of the season. Then they're playing Connecticut. Like, they might start off 1-1, and the Valkyries, they should start off 2-1. They should start off 2-1, and if you start off 2-1, that allows you to go on a 10-game loss streak and still probably not be at the bottom. You can go on a 10-game loss streak if you just go 2-1. And they have... Look, getting to 1 month into the season, they have a week break in June, which helps. It does help. They have a week break in June. So with that, like, I don't think they're going to be that. They're going to maybe have a bad record to start us off, but I still have them in 11. I just don't think there's the talent level is there. And as well as that, I just don't think they want to win. I don't think they want to win enough to be any higher than 11, if I'm being honest. Like, and yeah, let me know what you guys think, but I just don't like over predicting teams that aren't trying to win. And I don't think the Mystics are trying to win, if I'm being completely honest. So with the Mystics at number 11, at number 10, we are going with the Wings. I don't think the Wings are very good. I know there are a lot of people that probably like the Dallas Wings because they like Paige Bueckers. They think Arike is a winning basketball player. They think Nalissa Smith ISO post touches is going to win you basketball games. They think allowing Dejanay to go ISO is going to win you basketball games. They think Chris Sides is a good coach. They think them trying to put belt to ass to the Toyota Antelopes means anything. This team's not good. This is possibly the worst defensive team in the WNBA. This team has the worst defensive power forward in Nalissa Smith. They have Maisha Hines-Allen, who it's not the bubble anymore. Maisha Hines-Allen is just, again, is fine. Like, Maisha Hines-Allen, she's fine. They gave her a max contract. They're probably going to start her at the 5. Better option than Tiara McCown. Kayla Charles, nothing really. Paige, probably rookie of the year favorite. Let's be real. Paige, probably rookie of the year favorite. Isaiah James and JJ Quinterly are probably going to share minutes. But, like, Tiara McCown barely saw the floor in Turkey this year. Like, Tiara McCown came off the bench overseas. What? I don't understand why everyone's like, Tiara McCown is a starter because of size. I don't care. I don't care that she's 6'7". And why should they care that she's 6'7"? I'm sorry. It's like saying that Boban should start in the NBA just because he's 7'4" for size. I have no clue who what Geisel sold her. I have absolutely no clue. I don't know what she is going to bring. I have no idea. I rate Maddie Seegers very highly as an offensive player. Defensively, She's better than Alyssa Smith. He's better than Alyssa Smith. That's all I'm going to say. Dejanay is... Again, Dejanay's Dejanay. Dejanay's a lockdown defender. Absolutely lockdown. But this season will show how much Dejanay was kind of helped by Alyssa Thomas being the anchor. Helped by Dawana Bonner being the weak side help defender. And I still think he's going to be a really good defender. And Arike is Arike. Arike is going to do Arike things. The one kind of like thing that I will say is they've one of the best bench players in the WNBA in Ty Harris. Ty Harris was a really good starter. A really, really good starter last season for the Connecticut Sun. And having Ty Harris off the bench is good. Like realistically, if you're going to start out your quote unquote best five, you're playing Dejanay at the 4. You're playing Dejanay at the 4. You're going Paige, Arike, Ty Harris. You're going 3-guard lineup. You're going with your best team, probably Maisha Hines out at the 5 and going ultra small ball. But you're probably not doing that. Maybe that team could be too small. But overall, this team has no defenders. Like JJ Quinterly is a good defender. I don't know how much he's going to play. Paige is not a good defender. Does not look like a good defender at the WNBA level. She looked lost against the Wings. She's going to be fine. Long term, she's going to be fine. She's smart enough. She's good enough weak side. She's good enough as a smart, like her IQ on the defensive end is high enough that she'll eventually be a defender. I think she's going to be targeted as a rookie on the defensive end in the similar way to what Caitlin Clark was targeted. She's a better defender than Caitlin, but she's not. She was a good defender in college as a system defender. This team, I don't know if they have any defensive system. They ran a 2-2-1 press or trap. They ran a full court trap. I understand it was against Toyota Antelopes. Do you think you can run a full... This coach thinks he can run a full court trap in pro basketball. This coach thinks he can run a full court trap in pro basketball. Nope. Can't even run that in Irish pro basketball. Like there was one team that ran a 2-2-1 full court trap in the league that I coached in. And to be fair, bad teams just kept throwing it into it. They ran the trap for one possession against us. We broke the trap once and they went out after one possession. Any competent coach would beat a full court trap. And that's what they ran for a large chunk of the game against Toyota Antelopes. Like half of their players play the same position. You've got a whole bunch. Your backup center is 6'1". There's been talk about Nalissa Smith playing center. We've seen a season of Nalissa Smith minutes at center. Nalissa Smith's a better small forward than center. There were some Nalissa Smith small forward minutes with Temi and Aaliyah on the floor where she looked okay because she can drive. She is going to get eaten alive by every center, and she might start at the center position because as bad as Nalissa Smith is a center, I think she's a fine power forward. She's a lot better at center than Tiara McCowan. She's better than Tiara McCowan just in general. Tiara McCowan will get cooked on every pick and roll. The only times Tiara McCowan looked good last season was when she played against Aaliyah Boston, who cannot guard anyone bigger than her. That's the only times Tiara McCowan looked good last year was coming up against Aaliyah Boston. And in fairness, the Wings versus the Fever were some of the best games last season because they were all incredible games because no one played any defense. This is a team that, for me, I would have them in 11 or 12 if it wasn't for the fact they're not trying to lose. They won 9 games last season. The Dallas Wings can afford to win. They can afford to win 16 games this year. Go 16-28. They can afford to win 16 and still have a good chance at the number 1 pick. And I don't see this team winning more than 18 games. If they win 18 games, it should be considered a good season. Because, let's be real, you've lost Natasha Howard, you replaced her with Nalissa Smith. Not as good. You have lost Satu and replaced her with Paige. Not as good. Ty Harris is a good addition. Dejanay is a good addition. But you've also got a worse coach than Latricia Trammell. So I just don't see the Dallas Wings. And they start off the season playing against, like, that's a hell start. Minnesota, first game. Seattle, who early on in the season before, like, Seattle are a team where it's like they might just get injured. If they don't get injured, the Seattle Storm are genuinely a really good team, especially early on in the year. Then you play the Minnesota Lynx again, and you play the Dream, who are looking really good right now. Okay, you get to the 28th of May, and you're playing against the Connecticut Sun, but you're then facing the Chicago Sky in 2 games in a row, Or say, are you facing this guy twice in a row? I think you're facing this guy twice in a row, and that's not easy. That's not easy at all. And I understand they beat down the Toyota Antelopes, but like, it's the Toyota Antelopes. I don't care. Just like I don't care that the Liberty almost lost to them. I'm not judging. I'm not making any assumptions based on the Liberty almost losing to the Toyota Antelopes. But yeah, the only positive is you're not losing anyone to Eurobasket. That's like the only positive with the Dallas Wings. You're not losing anyone to Eurobasket. And Arike will win you some games. Arike will lose you a lot of games, but she'll win you some games. There are going to be games where Arike does Arike things and it works out, and you're going to win them. Like 18 games, I think, is the max they win. 18 and 26 should be seen as a really positive season. 15 wins is my prediction. 15 and 29 is my prediction for this team. And I think it's going to be a really, really tough. It's going to be a really tough rookie season for Paige. And not that Paige is going to lead the WNBA in turnovers. Not that Paige is going to have any stinker games. But she's not going to touch the ball enough. She's not going to touch the ball enough. And if teams actually put their guards on Paige, I think she's going to be happy giving the ball up and sitting in the corner. They're good defensive guards. But yeah, that is my prediction for the team that are going to be 10th in the WNBA. So who do I have at number 9? I know who I have at number 9. Is this go into the game, or does this... Yeah, standings. There we go. So my 9th best team in the WNBA this season is going to be the LA Sparks. I'm predicting the LA Sparks to finish 9th. And a lot of people are super high on the LA Sparks. I'm not high on them. I'm not low on them either. I think the LA Sparks, they're fine. They're fine. Obviously, Leah 2 King is already, they've gotten rid of her. But if you look at the LA Sparks roster, they're, like, I like Odyssey Sims. I don't understand why Odyssey Sims, was a hardship player for, like, all of last season. She was averaging, like, 18 a game for the Dallas Wings. She nearly won a Player of the Week, for God's sake. Like, Odyssey Sims is a really good guard. Sanaya Fagan, she's fine. Rikia could be MIP. I think Dearica Hamby is going to have a down season. Like, not a crazy down season, not a bad season. I think just, we can't forget with Dearica Hamby. She started off last year averaging 20 and 10. Like, she was averaging 20 and 10. She led the WNBA in rebounds through about 10 games. And then post-Olympic break, she was a non-factor. She was an absolute non-factor post-Olympic break. So with that being said, like, I don't know what she's going to do. Honestly, they play one preseason game. So, haven't seen much of them. Plum looked disinterested. The idea of Ray Burrell is better than the player. I watched Unrivaled. Like, Ray Burrell, I just don't... The idea of a 6'2", relatively athletic three-point shooter is so much better than the player of Ray Burrell. The idea of Ray Burrell is better than the player. And there is upside there. We just haven't seen the upside. She's probably going to start this year, but we haven't seen the upside. Sarah Ashley Barker is going to be fine. Like, she's going to come in, hit a few shots, and play a bit of defense. And that's what Sarah Ashley Barker is going to do. That's what she was drafted for. And I think 9... I don't mind the pick at 9. I really don't. They hate... Like, all the draft grades hated that pick. I don't mind it because this team needs something. This team needs something, and Sanaya Rivers wasn't on the board. I think they would have taken Sanaya Rivers if she was on the board because this team doesn't play much defense. Aria McDonald is best known for forgetting to shoot her second free throw to deny Caitlin Clark. That is what she's best known for. And not a really good backup guard if she's coming off the bench. Really good backup guard. Really underrated player. And Mercedes Russell, like, this just shows, like, some GMs need to just be fired. She's getting a near max contract. She's getting a near max contract to put up 4 points per game. And she's coming off a year where she got a near max contract. If Julie Allemon comes over, she's fine. She's gone for Eurobasket. Cameron Brink, I don't know when Cameron Brink is coming back. Like, I don't know when she's coming back. Nobody does. There's a non-zero chance Cameron Brink doesn't play this season. Like, there's no direct timeline. They were like, maybe in July. Like, that's all I've heard is maybe in July from Cameron Brink. Like, there is a possibility that she does not come over at all. And if Cameron Brink does not come over at all, then... does not come over at all. Does not come back at all. Then, like... How good can this team be on the defensive end? Like, I'm trying to see articles on my phone. Cameron Brink injury update. They haven't announced anything. Nothing's been announced for her injury. And, like, we haven't seen any clips. Nobody knows. Since I'm rival, we haven't seen anything from her. And I do like Azare. Like, Emma Cannon cannot make this team. She cannot make this team. But, like, I rate Azare as a center, I guess. I think Azare is pretty good. I think Azare genuinely can be a decent starting center. She's big. She's kind of mobile. She can shoot the ball a little bit. So, they're not bad. You've basically just added Kelsey Plum to last year's team. You've swapped Kelsey Plum for... Like, they shouldn't have been that bad last year. You got Ozzy Sims back. You've added Kelsey Plum. And it all comes back to how good Kelsey Plum is. That's all that it comes down to, is how good Kelsey Plum is. Someone said they said mid-June. If Cam Brink comes back mid-June, I'm happy with 9. If Cam Brink doesn't come back at all this season, 9 would be very, very low. But it just comes down to how good Kelsey Plum is. If Kelsey Plum is as good as Kelsey Plum thinks she is, they could be okay. And that's one of the things that I would say is that we saw a lot of times last season where, like, the Aces were better with Aja Wilson off the floor and Kelsey Plum was their first option. Again, small sample size. Obviously, look, if you take Aja Wilson off the Aces, they're not great. But if you are, like, there is not argument, but there is validity to saying if Kelsey Plum has her own team, she can be an MVP candidate. There's enough sample size that it can be a theory. There's not enough sample size to say it for a fact. But if Kelsey Plum plays like an MVP candidate, they'll make the playoffs. But that's about it. That's probably the only way I can see the Storm really making it, because they don't have enough. They have who can play defense on this team. Hamby's mediocre. Forget Mercedes Russell. Cam Brink is going to literally have to anchor an entire defense by herself, because nobody else on this team plays defense. Let's be real, nobody else on this team plays defense. And if you're looking, they start off the season with a Valkyries game in Golden State. That's not an easy win. The Valkyries are going to want to win that first game. That's not easy. Then they play the Valkyries again on May the 24th. After that, they don't have an easy game till the Wings. And they play the Valkyries again. They actually have a really easy start to the season. That is the one kind of positive, is that they might be a little bit like last year's Dream. A little bit like last year's Atlanta Dream, when they started off the season like 6-5. They had a relatively good start as far as who they were playing, and they started off like 6-5. And that's something that, like, this might happen to the Sparks, and the Sparks need to have a good start. They need to have a good start because they go through hell. Like, they really go through hell from the 10th of July to... Realistically, there's a month spell from after the 10th of June till the 10th of July where they go through hell. The Aces, the Timberwolves, the Storm, or sorry, not the Timberwolves, the Lynx, the Storm, the Lynx again, the Sky twice, the Fever twice, the Liberty, and the Lynx 3 times. They play Lynx 3 times, the Sky twice, the Fever twice, and the Liberty, with the Storm and Aces in there. That is hell. That is an absolute hell run. And they got to be in and around 500 before that run, because they might win one game in that spell. They genuinely might win one game, and it would not surprise me. So I just don't think they have it in them to make the playoffs. I don't think they have enough firepower. I think they might be relying on other teams getting injured, especially if the longer Cameron Brink is out. And also, you can't forget, Cameron Brink is not coming back into the team and immediately making a huge impact. It might take her a month to be good. So, yeah, I think it could be a tough year for the LA Sparks. And then, who do I have? At number 8, Storm. No, sorry, what am I talking about? The Mercury at 8. Mercury at 8. So, my first playoff team prediction, and it's going to be the Phoenix Mercury. So, I'm going to have the Phoenix Mercury as the 8th seed, and I know a lot of people are probably going to call me crazy for this. And you know what? You might be justified. And we've got 200 people watching this stream, but only 51 likes. Come on, we can get to 75. But, yeah, I do think that we're going to be talking about the Mercury. This team could be a 2 seed. This team could be an 11 seed. I don't know how the Mercury are going to get on. If you look at this roster, anything can happen. Like Satu, offensively, S tier. How many players in the WNBA are better offensively than Satu? Aja, Caitlin. That it? I mean that. Like, is that it? Aja, Caitlin, Sabrina. Not Stewie right now. Maybe 4 players. Satu is also good for missing 10 games a season minimum through injury. But she's that good when she plays. Copper is, let's be honest, Copper is exceptional. Natasha Mack is so average. She's fine. She's so average. But Alyssa Thomas, like, you'll see this later on in my MVP conversation. I think Alyssa Thomas is legitimately an MVP candidate. Because everything's going to run through her. Absolutely every single thing is going to run through Alyssa Thomas for the Phoenix Mercury. They're going to run, like, every single thing through through Alyssa Thomas. Sammy Whitcomb, fine player. Maddie Westbell's sister's hooping in preseason. Catherine Westbell's absolutely hooping in preseason. I have to say, she is hooping. Kalani Brown's 6'7". She's just Tiara McCowan 2.0. She's just another Tiara McCowan. Although I will say, Kalani Brown better over Tiara McCowan. But, like, I don't even know who's going to make the team. Like, has Laxa they got rid of Laxa? Did they cut? Oh, no, they didn't cut Laxa. I was like, Laxa could be a really interesting one. But, like, it literally, how good this team is depends on, we know what their big three is going to do. Depends on 2 things. How many games Satu plays, and 2, how good all of these other players are. Because Akoa Makani was unbelievable in France. She was unbelievable in France. Like, Akoa Makani has been fantastic. So good in France. And Laxa, I've watched Laxa play against the Irish national team a few times. Lights out. Money. Like, as soon as she gets the ball, it's up. Absolutely money. Uzun, playing for Fenerbahce, will be able to make the step up. Don't see Celeste Taylor doing much. Really don't see Celeste Taylor doing much. Tamira Poindexter, don't know if she makes the squad. Don't know who's even going to make the squad. But I would assume Westbell's going to make the squad. If the rest of these players can do anything, and Satu's healthy, they can be one of the best teams in the W. I just don't. There's just ifs. There's just too many ifs. There's too many ifs for me to put them higher than 8. They got no depth. They got the least depth I've ever seen, depending on how these players are. They might have great depth. They might have the worst depth ever. They've had to go overseas to look for players. But I don't know. I really don't know. And, like, I'm looking in the chat right now. People are, like, I'm obviously recording this. People are Not even talking about the Mercury. They're just angry I'm not interacting with chat. But basically, someone just said Mercury aren't that good of a team. I don't think they are, but they've got... Like, you can make the argument they've the best big three in the WNBA. Like, they're the only team where you can make an argument they've 3 top 10 players. They're the best big three in the WNBA. They have nothing else. Like, absolutely zero else. Unless a Cole McCanny steps up big time. Who knows? They might just have a weird... I've said it, Laxa might go and freaking win Rookie of the Year. She might F about and win Rookie of the Year. Like, we just don't know what's going to happen for the rest of that starting 5, but that big 3 is so good. They are so good that you just can't write them off. And again, start the season, they play the Mystics early enough, and that's really it for May. They have a really tough schedule in May, and the Lynx Sparks aren't bad. Like, they don't have the greatest schedule, and people saying they should sign Grace Berger, so they have 2 All-Stars in Grace Berger and Celeste Taylor. Oh, the Fever definitely would have regretted getting rid of Celeste Taylor last year. They probably would have got rid of her this year anyway. But I have to say, with the Mercury, I'm shocked the Mercury might go and start picking up some players. Alexis Prince looked really good in preseason. The Mercury might just start picking up some players. Hey, if I'm the Mercury, I'm like, who got cut? Letitia Amaher? We're going to take her. Or Letitia Amaher? We're taking her. We're taking her. No question about that. We're taking her. We've got a couple of our overseas players. Cool. We'll take her. We'll take Grace. We'll take a couple of others. Like they did it with Celeste Taylor and it worked out last year, taking her from the Fever. And this team, they've got to start off the season well. That's what I have to say, is they have to start off well. And Seattle, LA, they got to win that LA game, and they got to win. They got to win. They got to be 2-2 after 4. They have to. They have to be 2-2 after 4. Because when you play the Storm twice, we're fine, and then you play the Mystics and the Sparks, you've got to be 2-2. And then they face the Sky. If you are worse than 2-3 coming off Sky, it's over. The season's over. Just write it off. Like if they are 1-4 after 5 games, and then you've got the Lynx twice in your next 3, potentially losing 2 of them, going 2-6 going into your game against the Valkyries and then Storm. Like, it's not going to be easy. But I still think they have a big 3 that's going to put them ahead of... It's going to put them ahead of the Wings. It's going to put them ahead of the Sparks. And again, there are questions here with this roster. Like, how healthy is Satu going to be? I'm going to be honest. Is Satu even healthy right now? Like, is Satu even... Like, I would not be surprised if I typed in Satu Sabli and it turns out she's injured. Like, it would not surprise me. I'm just going to look up Satu sort by date. Is Satu injured? Is Satu injured? No. Absolute shock that Satu isn't injured right now. But she could well be very soon. But yeah, for that reason, I'm going to have this team at 8. I don't think they're a bad team. I'm putting them in at 8 because I just don't think they're anything like absolutely exceptional. And like they're fine. They're fine as a team, but they've a really big 3, and I haven't a freaking clue about anyone else. And it doesn't look like they've got any depth. So, like you could be seeing this team if they want to go for signing Kennedy in a few weeks. Like you could be seeing them. They could possibly be that desperate. And ranking unsigned free agents, ooh, that's a video. But Kennedy won. Like, we got to just talk ball. Kennedy won by that much. Amiher 2, maybe. Grace 3. Who's looked good? I'm trying to think. Like Sundell hasn't looked great. I'm not going to put Sundell there. I have no idea. That's an interesting one. I have no idea. I have no idea who I would put there. But Deja Kelly's a bucket. I don't know if Deja Kelly's that good. She's just a bucket. She just looked really good in that game. But the number 7 team, we have got the Seattle Storm. The Seattle Storm being predicted as high as 4th, being projected as higher than the Indiana Fever by the WNBA. I got them at 7. And I've already made the video calling them the most overrated team in the WNBA. That video came out today. And the Seattle Storm, they don't even have any ability to sign a free agent. Like I was talking before this, like I'm live currently right now, but I was talking before this about the free agents that are unsigned who are the best. I said Kennedy number 1, but obviously Emma Mason number 1. Can't afford either. Like, this is their bench. Their starting 5 is going to be Nneka, Skylar Diggins, Gabby Williams, Alicia Clark, and Ezi Magbegor. Gabby Williams, 28. Magbegor, 25. Diggins, Nneka, 35. Alicia Clark, 38. So they have 3 players above 35 in the starting lineup. Their bench 5 is going to be Erica Wheeler, Zaya Cook, Lexi Brown, Dominique Malonga, and Leah Rue. Malonga is 19. Lexi Brown has missed more than half of the games the last 2 seasons with Crohn's disease, and there's a very good chance she's just gone. Like, there's a very good chance if that comes back again, she's just gone during the season. They're going to be relying on hardship players, and I don't think there's going to be an Odyssey Sims level hardship player or a Monique Billings level hardship player this year. I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe there will be, you never know, but last year at least, if you were looking for hardships, you could get a Monique Billings, you could get an Odyssey Sims. Don't think that's going to happen. Don't think that's going to happen this year. Malonga isn't going to Eurobasket, but let's be real. Let's not have crazy expectations on Malonga. It's going to take her a few weeks. It's going to take Dominique Malonga a couple of weeks. At least, minimum, it's going to take her a few weeks to just be ready. Not to be a good WNBA player. I don't think that she's going to be a good WNBA player this season. It's going to take her a few weeks just to get used to being good enough to be on the floor. Like, she's 19. It's not like she's stepping up to a huge level. Like, and people are expecting, being like, oh, she's going to start by July. She's the 3rd choice center for the French national team. She's the 3rd choice center for France. It's not like she's ready yet. She has GOAT potential. Yes, she's not ready yet. Ezi Magbegor, fantastic. But like Zaya Cook, barely hanging on to a spot in the league. And she's going to have to be a big player in the rotation. And Erica Wheeler might be first player off the bench. And who are we kidding about Leah Rue? I understand she looked good in preseason. Leah Rue was the 3rd string center for the worst team in the WNBA last year. Leah Rue is literally a player that went to Galatasaray and did nothing. She went to Galatasaray and got cooked by Malonga, who I don't think is ready either. Leah Rue is a bang average backup big. Bang average big. And Malonga, if by the end of the season, Malonga can become one of the best bench bigs in the WNBA, then we might as well already call her future GOAT. Might as well already be calling her future GOAT if she can do that by the end of the year, by the end of the season. Then, obviously, like they're just old. They're old. They've got no depth. They've got 10 players. They're going to be relying on hardships. And I don't think that it's fair to expect a team, like, again, when a team has to rely on hardships, it becomes extremely tough. It can become extremely, extremely tough to really do anything because you have to get lucky. Like, teams can get lucky on hardships. Like, I'm trying to think who's the most likely player to just be cut for a hardship. But, like, if you look at the salaries this year, not that many teams have people that they can cut. Like, Bree Hall on a hardship, is that going to make any difference to this team? No. Kennedy Carter on a hardship, I don't think she's going to sign the hardship. Like, you've seen Kennedy Carter talking on social media, oh, you know, none of this stuff is hurting my pockets, I'm making more not in the WNBA, which is very true. Which is very true. So, I'm just looking at this from a totality. This team, I think, come playoffs, they could be good. They could be good the first couple of games of the season. Like, just the starting five is good. It's genuinely good. Like, I like Gabby Williams, but again, why are people talk like Gabby Williams is some superstar? Gabby Williams is good. She's good. She's a good starter. I would absolutely love her on the Indiana Fever. She's a great starter. But like, she can't really shoot. Great defender, athletic, freaky athletic. But like, what is she? What is she at the end of the day? Alicia Clark is, I repeat, she's the oldest player in the WNBA as far as I'm aware. I'm pretty sure Alicia Clark is older than DeWanna Bonner. Or if not, she's around the same age as DeWanna Bonner. Maybe she was taken a year after in the draft. Like, again, Alicia Clark is a really, really solid player. Why did they give her a max contract? They are now down to 10 players. And I repeat this, I am not betting on a team with 10 players to last the season. I am not betting on this team to last the season. I'm just not. I am making this assumption that they're not lasting the season. That's just the assumption that I'm making. They gave a max contract to a 38-year-old. And I understand it's 1 year, so it's not quite as bad as the Katie Lou deal. But Katie Lou tearing her ACL, Jordan Horston tearing her ACL is huge. If they still had a minimum contract Nika Mule, a Jordan Horston still on this team, and if Katie Lou was healthy, then yeah. And yeah, like, fair enough. But Alexi Brown is a great risk for a team as a 12th player because she is a borderline starting level player, elite bench level player, but it's a risk because, again, she has not played that many games because of Crohn's disease. Not her fault. Not her fault whatsoever, but it's a huge risk having a player like that in a team. You cannot make that risk when you've got 10 players. You just can't. And for people saying that they can cut Lexi Brown, they can't, because Lexi Brown is one of the 2 players still under contract next year. She's one of the 2 players, her and Kalani Brown. That's it. Zaya Cook is barely a WNBA player. Barely a WNBA player. And she's going to have to be literally she's going to have to be a major rotation player. And Erica Wheeler there's going to be stages where Erica Wheeler's starting. She's going to start for part of this year. Erica Wheeler's not very good anymore. Like, we saw it last year. Like, look, she's not awful. She's not great. She's not great. So, like, there's just no way that Erica Wheeler, as a key rotational player, probably first off the bench, that team is not winning that many games. And I get it. I think NECA's great. I think Skylar's great. I love Ezi Magbagor. But in a 44-game regular season, you cannot win because you have 4 good players and a team that is going to be reliant throughout the year on hardship players. It's just not. It's not a recipe for success. And I have them 7th. And people on my chat are saying they have them 10th. They might be 10th. And I don't get why the WNBA have them 4th. I do not get this. Like, I think 6th is the highest I would go. And that is 6th if no injuries. No injuries and they finish 6th. I genuinely think there's a very good chance that they miss the playoffs. They are a Skylar Diggins, a Nneka Nwumike, or an Ezi Magbagor injury away from not making the playoffs. They are an injury to any of those players away from just not making it, straight up not making the playoffs. Maybe even a Gabby Williams injury. Heck, have any of their starters be injured other than Alicia Clark for any period of time and they don't win many games. That's just the truth of it. So yeah, they're in here at number 8. So yeah, that is obviously my opinion there. At number 7, Jesus. At number 6. So I'll answer a few questions. Skylar looking for revenge on Caitlin. She might be, She might be. But, yeah, so By the way, ask any questions. You've got like 20 seconds to ask questions, and then we will be going on to our preview of who I have at 6. Any questions? Any questions? I'll give you guys another 20 seconds to answer questions. Where would I rank the Fever if Clark missed a significant amount of games? 6, 7, 6 maybe? I think the Fever can win games without Caitlin this year, which I didn't think they could do last year. Starters, Storm they're an excellent team. They have a very mediocre starting 5 for the playoffs. Their starting 5 is worse than last year, and they got swept in embarrassing fashion by the Aces, and they have the worst bench in the league with only 10 players. I've already made videos and lives with anything you can wonder about. Fair. Jessica Shepard for MVP. 6th player of the year. She's actually my 3rd on 6th player of the year. My ranking. But number 6 for the season. My number 6 prediction is the Chicago Sky. It is my preview. And we are going to have the Chicago Sky at number 6. And I know a lot of people are going to say, Mick, you're crazy. I might be. I just might be crazy. But I'm going to have the Chicago Sky at 6. They have a not so favorable start to the year. They face the Fever in Indiana first game. That's not easy. It's not easy at all. And then they go to the Liberty at home. Is it home? Yeah, it's home. But then Sparks, Mercury, Wings. You can come out with 3 wins there. They can come out with 3 wins. Then they play the Fever again, the Liberty, the Dream, the Sun, the Mystics. They don't have the craziest schedule early. They have a rough couple of games, and they have they have a crazy cut first games. Then they have a big kind of stretch where they should be winning games. They should be winning some games, and this roster, the starting 5, I have them obviously ahead of Mercury and I have them ahead of Storm. Starting 5 is not nearly as good as either of theirs. If you're going player for player, even just, let's just put them against a Storm who I had the previous position. Magbegor is better than Cardoso. NECA is better than Reese. Small forward, Alicia Clark is probably better than Kia Nurse. Shooting guard is Gabby Williams and Ariel Atkins. I take Atkins over Gabby Williams. And Skylar is better than Sloot. But the difference is the Chicago Sky have probably the most depth in the WNBA. And I don't think that's a crazy one. I think they have the most depth in the WNBA. They have a passable starting 5. They have number 1, or then were the Lynx, but let me say they're 1A, 1B in terms of depth. But at the same time, their starting 5 is maybe the 11th best, 10th best starting 5 in the WNBA. But the difference is they have so many players that can cook. They have Courtney Vandersloot, who can be hidden on the defensive end because of their defenders, who can run the show at the 1. She can run the show at the 1, and they have one of the favorites for most improved player in Camila Cardoso. My prediction is we're going to be seeing Camila Cardoso, Sloot, pick and rolls as their first option. Kia Nurse is the greatest May shooter of all time. Again, Kia Nurse is going to be one of the best shooters in the WNBA till the 1st of June. Once the 1st of June happens, tell her to sit on the bench, Beck Allen, you come in and start. But until the 1st of June, Kia Nurse is going to be money. She's going to be absolutely money. I think people don't realize just how good Kia Nurse shoots the ball in May. And she's going to be a absolute flamethrower at times. And you want to know the good thing is that Kia Nurse, if she's missing, we can just put in Rachel Banham. We can put in Beck Allen. We can put in Michaela Onyenwere. This team's bench is so deep. They're so deep. Like, I rate Mariah Jefferson. Take away Mariah Jefferson and Maddie Westbell. Neither of them are going to play much. Hailey Van Lith looks like she's got the confidence to play in the WNBA. And her ability to just draw defenders. How many bench guards can do that and can pass? Like, Maureen Johannes is one. Is that it? Is she one of the two maybe bench guards that can actually, draw some defensive coverage and kick the players? I think there's a possibility for that. I'm trying to think of something. Natisha Heidemann. Sorry, Natisha Heidemann. Is that all? Natisha Heidemann, Maureen Johannes, and her? And she's a solid backup guard. Not a great backup guard, a solid one. But then you look at their backup, arguably two guard, small forward, power forward. You look at the versatility of a Michaela Onyenwere. You look at the versatility of a Beck Allen. Like, Beck Allen started over Sophie Cunningham last year. Ariel Atkins stunk it up in preseason. Lockdown defender. And can attack the basket. That pull-up is going to be... That mid-range pull-up and her ability to create off the high pick and roll with Camila Cardoso is going to be deadly. And then you've got Angel Reese, whose stats are 100% going down this year. Like, Angel's probably going to average 11 and 9 or 10.2. But her assists are going to go from 1.9 to maybe 3.5. 3.5, 3.6. Because she's going to be playing more in the perimeter. She's going to be passing the ball a little bit more. Is there going to be a bit of a learning curve with Angel Reese? Yeah. Are there going to be games where she has 9 turnovers, where she has 7, 8 turnovers to 4 assists? Yeah. Yeah, there are this season. But are there going to be games where Angel Reese has 18, 12, and 7? Yeah, there is as well. Could Angel Reese get a triple-double this season? Unlikely, but maybe. Genuinely, maybe. Like, it wouldn't surprise me. And she can focus on defense as well. And this whole team is... This team are all dogs on defense. Ariel Atkins is a dog on defense. Angel Reese, when she wants to be, is a fantastic defender. Beck Allen can guard. Camila Cardoso is an elite rim protector. Kia Nurse can kind of guard. Onyenwere can lock down. Other than Courtney Vandersloot, and maybe Van Lith. Oh, and I forgot Elizabeth Williams. I forgot the best bench big in the WNBA. Like, I genuinely... I forgot about Elizabeth Williams. Elizabeth Williams averaging 10 and 7 last season. Elizabeth Williams is a starter on like half the teams in the WNBA. Like, Elizabeth Williams can shoot the midi a little bit. She can score free throws. She's an unbelievable defender. She can rebound the ball really well. She's a high IQ player. She's a good scorer in the paint. She's decent post moves. They just have so much depth. They just have so much depth that it's scary. But at the end of the day, depth is not going to win you a ring. Depth is not going to get you as a tippity top seed. But depth is going to get you into the playoffs. Especially later on in the year, when teams are getting tired, teams are breaking down, and teams are starting to pick up injuries, and the sky can start rotating players in and out. Like, you don't need to play Angel Reese 30 minutes a game, because you can play Angel 28, 29 minutes a game. You can play Camila 28, 29. And then you can swap the two of them for... You can have a bench lineup of Beck Allen and Elizabeth Williams, and on any given game, Beck Allen and Elizabeth Williams are going to be their best 4-5 combo. There's not that many players that can do that. There's not that many players where you can either take their entire bench front court and swap them with the starters, and on any given game, the starters are going to be, or the bench are going to be better than the starters. And they're the only team in the WNBA. Yes, their bench depth for their guards with Van Lith and Mariah Jefferson. So not Mariah Jefferson, sorry. And Mariah Jefferson's not going to play. And Rachel Banham might not be great, but we've seen Rachel Banham. She can just go off. Any given game, Rachel Banham can be a spark, can be a flamethrower. Same with Kia Nurse. Onyenwere can hit shots sometimes. Ariel Atkins, when she wants to be, can be a fantastic shot. Like, this team is depth. And depth alone, for me, is going to put them as a 6 seed. They are going, for me, just out of pure depth, they're going to be a 6 seed. And like, let's be real, like, you guys know how much I like Ariel Atkins as a player. Like, I wanted the Fever to go for him. Just because she went for the Sky doesn't mean my opinion changed on Ariel Atkins. She stunk it up in preseason, but it's going to be an interesting one. But we're going to have this, or the Chicago Sky, in here as the number 6th ranked team this season. So, yeah, I've Sky at 6. Why do I have such a liking for women's basketball? I like the sport of basketball, and I'm thankful that covering women's basketball has allowed me to talk about basketball as a sport for a living. Season opener is a rivalry of its own. Angel's got to win another game for it to be a rivalry. I'm going to be honest. Angel's got to win another game. I'm not calling it a rivalry if... Caitlin Clark scoring 31 points and 12 assists, while Angel Reese was stat padding a triple-double, or a double-double, down 30 against the third stringers. Angel's got, the Fever or the Sky have got to win a game before this is a rivalry again. I have a different channel for NBA, I have a different channel for 2K. Yeah, I just like basketball. And I love the fact I can watch ball. And lads, we got 234 people in here. We got 234. Can we get to 100 likes? Can we get to 100 likes, lads? That would be absolutely incredible if we get to 100 right here. Explain how Duke lost the final 4 games. They choked. That's how they lost the final 4. Fever is Sky in East End. If the Fever go 4-1 this year, the rivalry's over. The rivalry's over. That puts them 7-2 over the last 2 years. If they go 4-1 or 5-0, it's over. Gino Mad Chen was cut. I mean, Gino only had Chen for a year. It's like, would he not be as upset with Lopez Seneschal or Dorka Juhas not being there? But Chen was best for UConn. That's crazy. They had Sarah Strong. But number 5 team in the WNBA. I will say, I might put these a 4. I was debating putting these at 4. My 5, 4, 3. There was a little bit of me that wanted to put them at 3, but I love what I've seen out of the Atlanta Dream preseason. And I understand preseason's preseason. The Atlanta Dream are so interesting under Carl Smesco. And again, there are a couple of coaches that I'm like, okay, I see the vision. The 2 assistants from Vegas in Natalie and in Tyler Marsh, the 2 assistants from Vegas, they look legit. I haven't seen anything from the Utah. Was it Lynn Roberts, the Utah coach for the Sparks? Haven't seen enough of the Sparks to make any statement there. But Carl Smesco, I mean, a really interesting one just how they're playing. And it's not even that they've won the games, it's just how their starters play when they want to. Taylor Thierry making the team. I will, even if it is Taylor Thierry, I will 100% keep calling her Taylor Thierry for the great Thierry Henry. But this team right here, they've got a little bit of depth, and it's not even just on paper, it's just how they're playing. The speed they're playing at. And again, if it turns out Jordan Horston's really injured, it's not Jordan Horston, Jesus, sorry, she did tore her ACL, sorry, Jordan Canada is really injured, then maybe you bring them down a few notches. But Tahina Pau looks fantastic. She looks fantastic in preseason. I've got to give credit where credit is due. Tahina Pau looks absolutely fantastic. I'm shocked at how good Pau has been. Jordan Canada looks great. I think Pau is probably going to start at the 1 to start the season. Genuinely. Taylor Thierry is fine. Ryan Howard is just... When Ryan Howard's on, they can beat anyone. The least consistent player in the entire WNBA. Like, Ryan Howard sometimes looks like she can be a star. Not only a star, a super duper star. It's just a lack of consistency. She's a terrible off the dribble 3-point shooter and she lets it fly. She went 1 of 11 or something from 3 against the Fever the last time they played. Or was it, 2 of 11 or 2 of 12? Either way. Alicia Gray could be an all-star again. Genuinely could be an all-star. They are, like, she is a good defender. She's athletic. She can run. She's super fast. And when you have her, Jordan Canada, and Ryan Howard, just the pressure that they can put on teams. Like, I was watching them against the Mystics, and the pressure, the Mystics could barely get past the halfway line. The Mystics with Sykes on the floor, Melbourne on the floor, with Citron on the floor, so it was their best possible lineup. They still could barely get past the halfway line. They just blitzed them. I haven't seen anything like it at all in preseason. I understand it's preseason, but they shell-shocked the Mystics. They absolutely shell-shocked the Mystics. And just with that guard combo. And this is with Jordan Canada out as well. Bree Jones is going to be a good center. A really good center. And I don't know what the way their minutes are going to be. But Bree Jones could be a really nice center. Walker Kimbrough, I assume she's coming off the bench, is going to be a fantastic bench player. And like, this team got rid of Haley Jones, which is an interesting one because I would have thought Carl Smesco might have liked Haley Jones, but she barely played in preseason. And some in the chat just asked, what do I think about WNBA players having 15 instead of 12? That would be ideal, but it's not happening anytime. It's not happening until next CBA at least. Maya Caldwell doesn't do anything, but this team, if Brittany Griner is healthy and plays 38 games, we'll give her 6 missed. If she plays 38 games healthy, the Atlanta Dream might peak at 3. Like, the Atlanta Dream have that high peak. If Brittany Griner does not play that many games, then, like, I don't think she's going to have I don't think the team's going to be any higher than 5. But I'd be shocked if they get lower than 7. I'd be absolutely shocked if they're any lower than 7. Just with the way they're playing under Carl Smesco. We've got Brittany Griner and Bree Turner shooting 3s. But it's those 3. It's that Alicia Gray, Ryan Howard combo. And this is a team that does not have, and I mean this when I say this, they're not good on defense, but they pressure well. They are going to be heavily reliant on Brittany Griner protecting the paint. And they're going to play the Utah Jazz defense, which is deny everything, overplay everything on the perimeter, because if you get beat, we've got a shot blocker. That's my prediction for how they're going to be playing. Again, Naz Hillman is fine. Like, Naz Hillman's fine, but I think their starting 5 is as good as any. But again, it just depends. I don't know how bad Jordan Canada's knee is. It looked like it was an ACL. I don't know how bad it is. And if Jordan Canada is healthy if she's healthy by the 1st of June, then we're looking at a team that could be top 3. It could genuinely be top 3. And because of the longer season this year, no Olympics, there's more of a break. And for people saying Brittany Griner isn't going to last the season. Like, she came back and hardly missed a game last season. And she also averaged 18 points per game on like 60% from the field. So, yeah, Brittany Griner is a real interesting one. And I think having him in at 5 isn't crazy. I'm really looking forward to that. Like, are they playing the Fever back-to-back? Like, your goal is to split that. Realistically, your goal is to split that Fever. So their home opener is against the Fever. Oh, no, sorry. They're not playing Fever back-to-back. So they're playing... Oh, sorry. It was back-to-back because they played in their last preseason game. So they're playing the Fever, the Wings, the Sun, and then the Fever again. you need 2 wins. And the Sky, you need 3 wins out of those 5 games. If you are the Dream and you're trying to do well, you need 3 wins. You need to split those Fever games, and you need to beat both Connecticut and the Sun. And if you don't, or both the Sun and the Wings, and if you don't split those Fever games, you need to beat the Sky. Like, you need 3. You need to be coming out 3-2, coming out of that Sky game. And realistically, when you're playing the Mystics, Sky again, by the 28th of June, you've probably got to be. You need 4 to 5 wins. Realistically, you need 4 to 5 wins by then to compete. But over the course of the season, I just think with the pressure they're going to put on, I like Ryan Howard, Alicia Gray as a backcourt. If Jordan Cannon is healthy, I think they're going to be the 5th seed in the WNBA this year. Grimes and work on her offense. She's not the same defense player, rebounder. I agree with that, but she's still 6'9". She can still stand under the basket and block shots. The WNBA should have expanded to 15 players. Well, we can't forget that how much money the WNBA was losing in the last CBA. Can't forget how much money they were losing in the last CBA. Like, that is something that happened. They lost a serious amount of money in the CBA. So yeah, it's like, it is a tough one. It's a tough one to think about what's the best thing to do, if we're being honest. Because there is going to be expansion. There's going to be expansion. And we've got our team number 4. It was the last CBA like 5 or 6 years ago. 2020 maybe? 2021? 2019 actually? I actually don't know. But the number 4 team for me coming into this season are the Las Vegas Aces. I got the Aces as my number 4 team coming into the year. And I know most people have the Aces at number 3. For me, I got them a little bit lower at 4. I got them a little bit lower because I just think I think they're good. For me, they're one injury away from being in an awful spot. They have a very favorable start to the season. They don't face a real good team until the 18th. After the game 1, they don't face a real good team until the 18th of June. And I also think the Liberty might not start particularly fast because Leonie Fiebich is only she only won her championship last night. So Leonie Fiebich is probably going to be with the team a day before. She's not going to play much. And I think they just don't have that much depth without her, if we're being honest. But when it comes to the roster, the New York Liberty have the best starting 5. I say not the New York Liberty, sorry. The Aces have one of the best starting 5s in the W. Like, Jackie Young is fantastic. She's fantastic. Chelsea Gray, this is where it all comes down to, because if Chelsea Gray is Chelsea Gray, and I don't mean if Chelsea Gray is Chelsea Gray for 5 possessions a game, if Chelsea Gray is Chelsea Gray for 32 minutes a game, then maybe I can see why people have Aces at 3. Heck, maybe I can see then why people have the Aces at 2. But until I see it, like, people are talking about how good she was in Unrivaled, she still looks slow in Unrivaled. She still looks slow. Team players were still able to get at her, and I think she can be targeted. And I think she's going to be okay. Aaliyah Nye is going to be a sniper. Meg Gustafson, she was on like a foot scooter or like a knee scooter the last time I saw her, which is not good. Which wasn't that long ago. It was not that long ago, and she's on the roster. Aja Wilson's Aja Wilson. Like, let's be honest. Aja Wilson's Aja Wilson. Even if Aja Wilson has a down year for Aja Wilson would be 24, 10.5. That's a down year for Aja Wilson. She's arguably the best player in the world. She's still going to carry the team to wins in quite a lot of games. Jewel Lloyd. Now, this is the real tough one. Is Jewel Lloyd a net negative for a team? I think the answer might be yes. If I honestly was the Vegas Aces, I would not have traded for Jewel Lloyd. I wouldn't have done it. I would have traded Kelsey Plum for the 2 pick. I would have taken Dominique Malonga, You would have had Dominique Malonga in this team, and I would have just paid Tiffany Hayes. I would have paid Tiffany Hayes. And Chian Parker-Tyus, she's obviously pregnant. Kitley's not going to play at all. Kia Stokes is good defender, garbage on offense. But yeah, people on my chat are talking about it. We also cannot forget one of the biggest factors for the Aces winning games. The age of whistle. The age of whistle. If Aja misses a shot, flail in the air, foul. If Aja misses a layup, it's a foul. If Aja shoots a fadeaway and nobody's anywhere near her, someone in the crowd is going to get called for a foul. Like, it is real. The Aces whistle is real. Like, we saw it last year in the playoffs that they were mauling. They were mauling the Liberty in Game 4. And the refs could not bail them out. The refs could not bail them out in that Game 4. Like, it is the craziest whistle in all of sports that Aja Wilson has. Like, it is a league where players are allowed, like, take people's heads off and not get calls unless it's against this team. Like, the only thing is their bench is non-existent. Like, Aaliyah Nye might be good. I don't hate Dana Evans. Crystal Bradford, I don't know what she's going to do. Tiffany Mitchell's fine. But, like, it's not like Kirsten Bell's going to do anything. It's not like Kirsten Bell's going to do anything next season. Like, she's on a guaranteed deal for, I don't know what reason they gave her the 4th-year option. But I'm just looking through all these players and I'm like, you are so heavily reliant on Aja Wilson giving you 30 a game. You're so reliant on it. They've got a good starting 5, but like Jackie Young looks great. But again, we cannot forget they start Kia Stokes, so it's 4-on-5 on offense. And how many times did Jackie Young drop to the ground holding her knee in Unrivaled? How many times? Chelsea Gray's still not right. She still can't run very fast. They just have many more. For me, they've got so many more just questions. I'm not confident that everything's going to work out. The team is currently being sued by a player. Their coach is currently being sued by Dearica Hamby. I think I may be wrong on that. I know the team is. I think Becky Hammond might be involved in that as well. They're going through a lawsuit. They're coming off a bad season. They got worse than last year. They not only lost Kelsey Plum and downgraded with Jewel Lloyd, they also lost 6th Player of the Year Tiffany Hayes. They lost Alicia Clark. And as much as she didn't do much on the court, Sydney Colson was good to have around. They lost Kate Martin. So they lost a lot of players. Seemed significantly worse than last year. And they were a 4th seed last year. For me saying that they are going to be a 4th seed, considering they were the 4th seed last year and got worse, and they're going through a load of stuff off the court, is just showing how highly I rate Jackie Young and Aja Wilson. Again, they might get higher if Chelsea Gray is Chelsea Gray again, but I'm not that confident Chelsea Gray is going to be Chelsea Gray. The only positive is they have the easiest start to a season of any team. They seem to have the Seattle Storm's number. Like, if the Sparks aren't great, they could start off the season 6-1. Like, if they end up this season, if they somehow end up like last season, starting 6-6, and then I know they went like 9-1 at one stage once Chelsea Gray came back, just out of the freaking vibes from that. But they're not as good as last year. They're just not as good as last year. And Jewel Lloyd, it's not an assumption, but I wouldn't be surprised if Jewel Lloyd just starts chucking, man. I wouldn't be surprised if Jewel Lloyd starts chucking, because she's always been a chucker. Always been a chucker. And you lose 2 assistant coaches that seem to be doing well as head coaches. Like Natalie and Tyler Marsh are both doing well. They're both seemingly doing well. So, yeah, refs are scared of Becky Hammond. The refs are 100% scared of Becky Hammond. Becky Hammond, I've seen. Do you remember last year when the Fever got one favourable call and Becky Hammond chased down a referee? She chased down a referee screaming at the ref, got teed up, and then for the rest of the game, every single call went to the Aces. They're scared out of their mind of Becky Hammond. And Becky Hammond, I remember I tweeted out something along the lines of, our WNBA refs are scared. I tweeted something along the lines of that. I can't remember, but Becky Hammond blocked me on Twitter for it, which was hilarious. I didn't even tag her. So she was clearly typed in Becky Hammond and just started clicking through search. Start going through search and everything. But yeah, especially if you have the bald Michael Jordan ref that wears 23, you better believe it's going to be tough to beat the Aces with the Jordan ref. But at the same time, look, I rate this team goes where Jackie Young they go where Chelsea Gray and Jewel Lloyd goes, because Jackie Young and Asia Wilson are going to be great. They're going to be great. We know what we're getting from them. They go where the two of them go, and Becky Hammond does not look happy here. She does not look happy at all. She does not look happy to be there. That's all I'm going to say. She does not look happy to be there. And if your coach is looking that upset, maybe you don't have it in you to win anything. So we're at team number 3. We're at number 3. And for those of you guys who are waiting, we're at 3. So for my number 3 team in the regular season, I'm going for the Indiana Fever. I'm going for the Fever, and I'm banking on the Indiana Fever just taking the piss in preseason. I'm banking on them that they were not going hard in preseason, because Fever did not look great in preseason. At the same time, the Aces looked terrible against the Mercury. They looked terrible against the Mercury. The Liberty have looked terrible, period. The Lynx looked terrible in one of the games against the Sky. So I'm not going to get too bogged down in preseason, but the Fever's roster is one of the best in the WNBA. As far as they have as good front court depth as almost anyone. They have the best guard in the WNBA by 100 miles. They've got one of the best scoring guards in the WNBA in Kelsey Mitchell. They've got a top 5 center in Leah Boston. And I'm trying to think what centers are better than Leah. If you consider AJ a center, but Kia Stokes plays a center. So, Ezzy Magbagor, maybe Brittany Griner. Jonquel, obviously. That it better than Leah? Sophie Cunningham is possibly the 6th player of the year. And Lexi Hull, you just know you're getting energy from Lexi Hull. You know you're getting energy from Lexi Hull. And someone in my chat says they went pretty hard versus the Mystics. They didn't. They went hard when they were up 18 points and Kiki Uriafen suplexed Sophie Cunningham. So they went down 18 points. And yes, Alana Smith better than Leah Boston. I'll agree with that. Someone obviously, if you're wondering why I'm responding to things, there's a chat. I'm currently live. But Sophie Cunningham is like, when she got suplexed, they were down 18, and they just blitzed them from then on, and that was without Caitlin Clark. But DeWanna Bonner chilled in preseason. Natasha Howard, we can't forget, Natasha Howard can still score the ball. Like, she's just a black hole. And I have some concerns with the Fever. Obviously, backup point guard Colson's not good enough. DeWanna Bonner is still DeWanna Bonner. Like, people are acting like DeWanna Bonner was not an all-star last year. She was an all-star. She was one of the best players for the Sun. She was an all-star. She's an elite weak side defender. She's going to be a really good on-ball stopper in the playoffs. She's going to be an absolute stopper in the playoffs. She's probably not going to be used as a stopper throughout this regular season. And then you've got Caitlin Clark. Like, I don't see Michaela Timpson playing that much, but you've got Caitlin Clark. Like, that is the reason why this team is going to be good. If you play the Caitlin Clark system. However, there are a couple of questions. There are some real concerns from preseason. First of all, Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey Mitchell, what we saw in preseason was a huge concern. a huge concern. And it's not about the shooting. It is she has fallen back in love with her tween, step back long 2 bricks. She's fallen in love with the step back long 2 bricks, which she shoots about 20% on. She's fallen back in love. She's stopped cutting. She has stopped cutting. She has stopped relocating. She has stopped getting, when she got the ball, when Kelsey Mitchell was at her best last year, and I want you guys to watch the 10-game stretch where Kelsey Mitchell just took over. Every time Kelsey Mitchell had the ball, and she did not have a jump shot, a cut, or a layup, she looked backwards and just gave the ball to Caitlin Clark, and something else happened. Something else happened. Kelsey Mitchell, as an off-the-ball player, is one of the best shooting guards, if not the best shooting guard in the W. Kelsey Mitchell, as an on-the-ball player, is a detriment to your team. She is a detriment to your team. And the problem is that we saw more of wannabe Arike than we saw wannabe Clay. Like Klay Thompson, or like Kelsey Mitchell, when she was at her best, played like Klay Thompson. With the way she played off-ball, everything was from her off-ball movement. But she is looking in preseason like it's wannabe Arike again. And that is not good. That is not going to help this team win. Not going to help this team win. Especially when you've got a black hole, Natasha Howard. And the reality is the more Caitlin Clark has the ball in her hands, the better. Like, good things are going to happen when Caitlin Clark has the ball in her hands. They are. They are. And we saw a lot of sides ball in preseason. I'm going to be honest, we saw a lot of sides ball. And it was a bit of a concern. It was a real concern. Again, I think Stephanie White is a smart enough coach that she'll figure it out. But we saw a lot of sides ball. And I think we saw a lot of sides ball because they just didn't want to show off anything. Like, I think they didn't want to show off anything. One thing I will say is that Sophie Cunningham looks to be a perfect pickup. An absolutely perfect pickup. Lexi Hull's a hustle player. She's going to hit shots. Look, I still have a bit of hope in Bree Turner as a shot blocker. I don't know what the story is with Damaris Dantas. Like, I don't know what story is, whether she's going to play or like when she's going to play, when she's going to be back. And it's going to be an interesting one to see what happens with Dantas. Michaela Timpson, I don't see her playing much this year. But look, the team goes where Caitlin Clark goes. And I said this last year, and I've said this plenty of times. Caitlin Clark, the player, and Caitlin Clark, the system, are two different things. Caitlin Clark, the system, last season proved to be unguardable. It was unguardable, especially when you add Leah Boston. Caitlin Clark needs the ball in her hands as much as possible. And I understand taking her off the ball, but the problem is that there's not enough good decision makers on the team to do that. Like, I think you can play Caitlin Clark off the ball when you have good decision makers. In Iowa, you had Gabby Marshall, you had Kate Martin, you had like those players. And yes, obviously it's a lot different being a good decision maker in college. That's what you need for Caitlin off the ball. You can't just put Caitlin Clark off the ball and expect DeWanna Bonner to randomly turn into a facilitator at this stage in her career. DeWanna Bonner is the offense stops here type player naturally. Michaela Timpson, I don't know. Dantas wants to shoot every time she touches the ball. Bree Turner struggles with catching the ball. Lexi Hull, in fairness to Lexi Hull, she wants to shoot every time she touches the ball. Sophie Cunningham is a playmaker. Aaliyah Boston is a playmaker. Natasha Howard, black hole. And Kelsey Mitchell, black hole. You have got a team where Caitlin Clark needs to have the ball because they're not going to function. I don't think they're going to function with Caitlin Clark off the ball. They can have any sort of offense that they want. They can have this motion offense. They can have this great idea. They can have all these intricate offenses. But the more the ball's out of Caitlin Clark's hands, the worse this team's going to look. Because you've got a whole bunch of players that just need their touches. And wherever and whenever they get the ball, they're going up with it. And the problem is that outside of Caitlin Clark, we saw Sydney Colson. We saw Sydney Colson throw the ball to the opponents every time. Caitlin Clark will free someone up for a layup. Sydney Colson will make it so that when they get the ball, they're further away from the basket than when they started. When they started the move. But like, without Caitlin Clark on the floor, or without Caitlin Clark on the ball, players are going to be getting the ball in positions they don't want to get it. And they're going to try, instead of running anything offense, it's going to be back down, turnaround jumper, or shoot over somebody in Dwana Bonner's case, or tween, sidestep Brick in Kelsey Mitchell's case. The Fever have the potential to go number 1, but I'm putting faith in Stephanie White not being Christy Sides reincarnated. The only thing I'll say is no matter what, she's going to be better than Christy Sides because they actually have a philosophy on screens. They do something on screens. They refuse screens. They ice screens. Like, they do something. They ice screens. So just for that, Stephanie White, greater defensive coach than Christy Sides. They have a better defensive system than Wing It. But I'm going to be completely honest. When it comes to the Fever can go as high. If the Fever end up as the 2nd seed, I wouldn't be shocked. If the Fever end up as the 1st seed, it wouldn't be that crazy. I don't think the Fever are going to go lower than 5. I don't think they're going to go lower than 5. If they're going to go lower than 5, that's like me saying they're going to be a bit worse than the Sky. And that's not, I don't think that's going to be the case. But the Fever could, like, the Fever going 25-19 is a real possibility. Which is, when I say barely an improvement on last year, which actually is worse than they were after the first 10 games last year. I don't think that's an impossibility. And the team goes where Caitlin goes, and I hope that Stephanie White, I hope that the last preseason game was just trying out new things, because the way they played against the Dream on offense, like, Caitlin had the ball in her hands probably less than we've seen, and not only that, like, we were looking points per possession with Caitlin having the ball in her hands were really bad, because Caitlin Clark gave the ball to somebody, and then instead of, like, there was no player movement. There was no player movement at all. So Caitlin wasn't hitting players on cuts. She wasn't able to do anything. She was just passing the ball to the side and then watching them go ISO. So it was a tough game for the Fever. And I hope that was just them not trying to show anything. Because if that is what we're getting from the Fever, I'm going way too high with them at 3. In fact, they might not be better than last year. Like, if what we saw, like, Christy Sides just wasn't a good enough coach. If what we saw against the Dream on the offensive end is how Caitlin's going to play and how everyone's going to play, I can confidently say we've got a coach who might coach Caitlin away from being Caitlin, because Caitlin actually respects Stephanie White enough to listen to Stephanie White. So we hope Stephanie White's not coaching Caitlin to not be Caitlin. But again, I don't think that's the case. I think that was just a preseason game where they didn't want to show anything because they're playing the Dream in game 2. But yeah, I have the Fever in at number 3. The Fever at number 3, and they could go and win 30 plus. I originally had 29-15 as my prediction for the Fever. 27-17 is my prediction right now. 27-17 and 3rd seed. That's my prediction. Caitlin will be on Paige if that happens. Oh, we can't have Caitlin be Paige. You're not wrong, but we can't have Caitlin being Paige. Caitlin turned into Paige could be crazy one. Watch it the live stream. I'm uploading all these as videos tomorrow, so I'm like, I might as well just record this, and I might as well just stream it. Like, there's no point in being too worried about this, so we might as well just stream it. Who are the Minnesota Twins? Had the Lynx at 1, the Liberty at 2. After what I heard from Cheryl Reeve, Lynx at 2. Oh my god, the Celtics minus Tatum are destroying the Knicks. Wow. Derek White with 32. Who's starting in Tatum's position? Oh, Horford. Fair. Need Caitlin to be Caitlin. Paige could be MVP. She's smooth. Paige is smooth. There's never a problem with Paige's game. It's here that's the problem with Paige. Her game is legit. No flaws. But as my number 2 team in the WNBA for 2025, I am going for the New York Liberty. The champions from last season, I have down at number 2. Again, they have stunk in preseason. Doesn't really matter. They've absolutely stunk. But I will say, this is a team that might still be championship favorites because they made a huge decision today. And Benaija Hamilton is not going to be playing this season. They suspended her contract, which means they have 180k left. They're the only team that simultaneously has a chance to win a chip and can afford MMA Simone. They're the only team that can do that. So we got to talk. Adding a top 7 player in the world to this team. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to beat them. However, we're talking regular season right here. And we have to take into account that one of their best players, Leonie Fibish, is not yet with the team. You might be saying 6.7 points per game, that's not much. She averaged 12 points per game in the playoffs while being their defense. They literally were like in the playoffs. Kelsey Plum's cooking us. Oh, Leonie, guard Kelsey. Then Aja starts cooking them. Yo, go guard Aja. Then they're getting cooked by Jackie Young. Go guard Jackie Young. In the finals, it was every time Fee scored a few points. Leo, go guard Fee. They Heideman's cooking in one game. Go guard Heideman. Go guard Courtney Williams. Go guard Kayla McBride. It was literally, she just rotated on whoever was cooking on the other team. And averaged 12 points per game. She was better over the totality of the playoffs. This is the one thing I'll always say. When it matters for the Liberty, Fibish is almost always either their second or third best player. She's never going to win you a game. But there was not a single game in the playoffs where she was not better than one of Sabrina, Stewie, or Jonquel. Through the whole playoffs. In every single game, she was better than one of them. There was no game in the playoffs where she was the best player. But I'm sorry, when you have a team with 3 top 10 players, and in every single game in the playoffs you are better than one of them, being that consistent lockdown defender, lights out shooter at 6'4" in the wing is so important. And she's not going to be there she's not going to be fully with it till July. Because she's come late and she's playing in Eurobasket. So she misses 2.5 weeks of the season minimum with Eurobasket. And Niara is playing in Eurobasket. So you're losing your second best bench player, one of the best bench bigs in the WNBA. You're losing Niara Sabally for Eurobasket. So you're losing 2 players mid-season for Eurobasket. Tash Cloud, like I rate Tash Cloud so highly, I think she's going to be fine. She's really looked bad in preseason. The one thing is, and then also, sorry, like Maureen Johannes is fantastic. Maureen Johannes might be 6th player of the year, or at least is a candidate. But say it with me, Maureen Johannes is going to Eurobasket. So they lose 3 players to Eurobasket. So I just can't see them being able to have the best regular season. I still think they win 30 games. Like, you still have, like, let's not forget, for last season, Benaija Hamilton missed a large chunk of the season through injury. Stewie missed a couple of games. Sabrina missed a couple of games. They didn't realize Leonie Fibish could play basketball through about 15 games. Niara Sabally missed a lot of last season. And Sloop missed a lot of last season. So, they did have Kayla Thornton. But Kennedy Burke, pretty good. Pretty good bench player. I think Izzy Harrison is fine. What's her name? Rebecca Gardner's fine. Is Rebecca Gardner still on the team? Yeah, she's fine. I think Markeisha Davis is going to have a much bigger role this year. Jalen Sherrod, I think, is going to be okay. Like, they're going to survive the Eurobasket, missing 3 players. But the thing is that coming out of Eurobasket, if they are a top 3 seed coming out of Eurobasket, they're so much of a threat. They are so much of a threat because it is literally, you've got now 3 players coming back and probably MMA someone coming back. And that's the big one. That is the big one, is that they have the money to potentially get MMA someone back. And not only that, they can get her, and they have enough for hardship contracts for Eurobasket. So I just think if they can survive, what games do they have to play through Eurobasket? If they survive, if they're top 3 seed after Eurobasket, then it might just be GG's for the league. But first game against the Aces, I think, is going to be a tough one. I think they might not win that game purely because, again, it's tough to win a game like that when you don't have... Like, Leo Phoebe is such an important player, specifically against that team. Specifically against the Aces, she's so important, and she's not going to be there. But the Liberty did have the Aces number last year. The closest in the regular season the Aces got to beat the Liberty was game Asia didn't play. Then they played the Sky, the Fever, the Valkyries. They should want to go out 3-1 there. If they come out 3-1 out of those games, 4-1, 5-1, 6-1, 7-1, I think it's the Atlanta Dream. This game here, the 14th of June, I think this is the last game they're gonna have their full team. Like, ideally, they want to be like 9-8 or 9-2 or something. How many of that game is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if they are anything worse than 7-3 before Eurobasket, they would be probably disappointed. And then they play like the Mercury, the Storm, the Valkyries, the Mercury again, the Dream, and the Sparks. And then they should all be back by the Storm game. So they actually have a very favorable run during Eurobasket. So it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world for them. But I will say it's a... if they can get through that, they're sorted, because they are so stacked as a team. You have the best team in the WNBA. You have the best starting 5 by a mile. Like, you have Sabrina Ionescu, Breanna Stewart, and John Quell in your starting lineup. And then you add in one of the top 3 best small forwards in WNBA, and Leonie Febish, to that. And you add in Tash Cloud, who's a top 5 point guard in the W. In my opinion, was the 3rd best point guard last season, after Caitlin and... If you count Sabrina as a point guard, I thought she was better last season than Skylar. And we also have to be honest here, like, Tash Cloud's a playoff riser. There's a couple of playoff chokers on this team. Tash Cloud is a playoff riser. And then you've got Izzy Harrison, who I still think is fine. I think she's a fine backup. When the Liberty get going, I still have them as my championship favorite. I just can't see them being the top team in the regular season. I just can't see them being a top regular season team just because they lose 3 players for quite a few games. And Leo Phoebish is not coming. I think she either arrived in New York today or is arriving tomorrow. So she's going to be game shape. She's going to be fit, but she's not going to be used to playing with this team. I still think they might start her, but you just never know. You never know. But my number one team. So the number one team for the regular season, not my favorites for the championship. Power rankings are regular season. My favorites for the championship are probably the Liberty, because I think they're the only team that can afford MMA Simon. But my number one team in the regular season, we've got the Minnesota Lynx. We have got the Minnesota Lynx, and I have to say, like, regardless of what Cheryl Reeves said, I really like this Lynx team. I really, really like the Lynx team. And again, does it come down? A lot of it comes down to, if it turns out Kayla McBride is not just like taking a step away because she's played too much ball, then this changes. Is K-Max an all-star? This changes if that happens. Because if we're honest, this team has a lot. I still do not understand why Elisa Peely was kept over Race Berger. Like, Peely's a 5'11" player who can't do anything other than shoot. And is a 5'11" center who can't do anything other than shoot. But fee is fee. My MVP prediction. Like, Nafis Collier is fantastic. Badian looks really good. She looks legit. She looks mobile. She can shoot. She can play defense. She can rebound. Like, Badian looks real good. Kayla McBride, if she plays, we saw her first team unrivaled. Jessica Shepard looks unbelievable. Looks absolutely unbelievable. Like, I would be shocked if she's not in the 6th player of the year conversations. She's like her, Sophie Cunningham, Maureen Johannes, Elizabeth Williams. I think there are legitimate conversations for 6th player of the year for Jessica Shepard. Like, she's that good a player. She's genuinely that good a player that she could be in those conversations. And with that being said, like, they brought her in this year from a team that is already like just insanely good. Courtney Williams is keeping the damn mid-range alive. She keeps the mid-range alive. Like, she's able to create. She's able to shoot that mid-range. She keeps the mid-range alive. Like, I haven't seen somebody be able to pull up and just go to that mid-range like Courtney Williams since, like, Chris Paul. Alana Smith is the most underrated player in the entire league. Like, this team did not function when Alana Smith wasn't there. They're going to function better because Jessica Shepard's a huge upgrade on Dorky Uhas. But this team did not function without Alana Smith on the floor. Alana Smith is one of the best centers in the WNBA. And, like, Alana Smith, for me, is in that, like, borderline top 20 category. Like, she is the Leo Phoebish of centers. That she does everything right. She spreads the floor a little bit. She blocks shots. She passes the ball. Like, what percentage did she shoot last year from 3? And, like, she got hurt in the finals. As soon as she got hurt in game 3. Like, she was hurt in this game and at 2 points. She struggled. And by the way, let's not forget this. She got a championship winning block. She got a championship winning clean block on Breanna Stewart. It's not her fault that the referees and the WNBA rigged the series. It's not her fault. But, like, on the season, she had a bunch of really, really good shooting games. Yeah, she cooled down, but, like, there's 4 games where she goes 4 or 5 from 3. Cooled down a little bit in the playoffs, I guess. But, like, a fantastic, fantastic player. And you also have to take into account, again, she's what? The 4th best player on this team? The 3rd best player on this team? Like, 4th, maybe if you consider Courtney Williams. Kosu is somebody that's going to not play very much, but is a really good young player to have. Has potential. And Kosu might actually have potential to just come in and be a lockdown stopper. Bridget Carlton's fantastic. Heideman's as good as you're going to get as a backup player. Like, Carlton's going to shoot 40% from 3 and play lockdown defense. And then as well as that, this is, like, Diamond Miller's a new player. Like, Diamond Miller looks like Diamond Miller again. There's a reason why Diamond Miller was the number 2 pick in the draft. There's a reason why Diamond Miller was second in Rookie of the Year voting to Aaliyah Boston. There's a reason why Diamond Miller was rated so highly as a player. She got hurt last year, didn't look good. Diamond Miller looks like she's back. And we also can't forget, they got Carly Samuelson. They have the better Samuelson. Like, Natisha Heideman is a really good backup. And just this team has so much depth. If you look at their, like, quote-unquote bench lineup, you've got Heideman at the 1, would start for about 3 to 4 WNBA teams. Carly Samuelson would start for about 3 to 4 WNBA teams. Diamond Miller wouldn't start for any WNBA teams that aren't tanking, but still pretty good. Badian at the 4, who wouldn't be a starter but is a good bench player. And Jessica Shepard, who would start for at least half of the WNBA teams. You have got a bench that is better. Like, people said people were saying, is the Fever's bench better than the Sky's starting 5? Do we remember that conversation, which was a crazy conversation? The Sky's bench is better than the Fever's bench. But that was the conversation people were having. The Lynx's bench is better than at least 3 teams starting 5s. At least 3 teams. The bottom 3. Give me the Lynx's bench over 3 of their starting 5s. Like, the only thing I don't like about this team is the backup point guard. That's the only thing I don't like. I don't like Natisha Heideman as the backup point guard. Natisha Heideman was so bad. I think it was game 1 of the finals, she was brilliant. I think she was so bad in the other 2 games of the finals. Like, she was really, really poor. in a couple of games in the finals. As well as that, like, she's costing them a lot of money. They got rid of Grace just to keep Peely there to sit on the end of the bench. I mean, maybe she's just a really good locker room person. But again, look, Elisa Peely might prove me wrong, and I hope she does prove me wrong. I hope she continues to shoot the lights out. It's just a position. It's just a position. And people are saying, can't believe the Fever traded Alana Smith. Worse, the Fever just cut Alana Smith. It was the first thing Lynn Dunn did was cut. The first thing Lynn Dunn was cut her. Was cut Alana Smith. But yeah, it's a real interesting thing again, seeing what's going to happen with the Lynx. But I think the Lynx are, I think the Lynx are going to be the top team in the regular season. I think they got a little bit more in the Liberty. I think they have a little bit more in them than Liberty, and they don't have any players going to Eurobasket. That's probably the biggest factor. Oh, I'm wrong. Jessica Shepard's going to Eurobasket. I'm almost certain Jessica Shepard's going to Eurobasket. I think I'm wrong. She's naturalized Slovenian. I might be wrong with that. Oh. If that happens, I still have the number one. They don't lose 3 players, but I didn't even realize that. Maybe Badian as well. Jesus, Badian. So that's why they kept Peely. That's why they kept Elisa Peely. That makes sense now. They might lose 2 bigs to Eurobasket so Peely goes into the rotation. That makes more sense. I completely forgot, like, obviously Badian's Badian, but I completely forgot that Jessica Shepard is Slovenian or plays for Slovenia. Forgot about that. Peely was drafted 8. Yeah, but like Berger was drafted 7th and the Fever cut her. The previous year, they drafted Emily Ensler 4th and cut her straight away. Kosu going to Eurobasket. I don't think Russia are allowed playing Eurobasket. If I'm being honest. Yeah, I don't think they're allowed. So we're going to go players. Why can I not search? There we go. So we're going to be looking at our awards now. We're going to be reading out the awards. Starting with Rookie of the Year, my top 5 countdown. We're going Rookie of the Year, we're going MIP, we're going 6th Player of the Year, we're going Depoy, and we're going MVP, my top 5 countdowns. So we're going to be here for another almost hour. We're going to be here for a long, long time, lads. We're going to be here for a long, long time. The stream will be over. I mean, I will be streaming 7 hours today. But, saw me on Twitch, Jesus. But yeah, I will have, and I spent about 2 hours recording. Other than that as well, it's just been long. It's been a long, long day. Been a long, long day. But yeah, we've got our previews. Am I streaming both games Saturday? No, I'm gonna be streaming the Wings game. That's it. I'm not staying up till 5 a.m. to watch this freaking Sparks against the Valkyries. I'll watch it in the morning. Cool. Tim's improving year to year. Yeah, she won't play much for the Fever, but that's it. So, 3, 2, 1. So, lads, today we are going to be talking about the Rookie of the Year. I'm currently live on stream. This is part of my my WNBA preview. You guys are going to be seeing so many videos today. So many videos that I will be spamming your newsfeed. And I want to apologize to absolutely nobody about that. So we're going to be talking about my top five players for the Rookie of the Year, who I think is going to be in the conversation, who I think is going to be close but probably not in it, and why I've rated the players the way I have. So players that I was very much considering putting in was Laxa from the Mercury. I don't know how much he's going to play. And in a really tough one, I was considering putting Carla Late in. I just think with Carla Late, I think she's going to come off the bench to start the year. So Carla Late and Laxa were two players that I was like, are going to be in. I'm going to have them maybe as like 4th, 5th, or as like 6th, 7th. And other players, I don't know how bad Anissa Morrow's knee injury is. I don't know, like Sanaya Rivers, hopefully bigger things than basketball with Sanaya Rivers. And then I just don't know with other players. So, for number 5, I'm going to be honest, Te-Hina Paopao. We're going Te-Hina Paopao at 5. And I actually just think Te-Hina Paopao is going to play more minutes than we think because Jordan Canada's hurt. Like, I think Te-Hina Paopao is going to be their starting point guard early in the season. I think they're going to start Paopao, and I think they're going to bring Walker Kimbrough off the bench. Walker Kimbrough is a known 6th player. She's a really good bench player. That's what she was signed to be. Walker Kimbrough was signed to be a bench player, and I think that's what she's going to be for the Atlanta Dream. I don't see Walker Kimbrough being a consistent starter, but I do, in fact, see her being a really, really good bench player. It is like she could be very well in there at number 5. And I think she could be a solid starter for that Atlanta Dream team. And again, I'm someone who called pre-draft Paopao not make a roster because I had that little trust in Dawn Staley guards. But Paopau's played really well in preseason. And I think Paopao is going to play big minutes for the Atlanta Dream this year. I really do. So she's in at number 5. And number 4, we're going for a player, and this is just an assumption that she's going to start. Janelle Salone. Janelle Salone, there we go. She's Tijan Salone's sister and 6'2", can play a 2, can play a 3, can shoot the ball. Does a bit of everything. Was a EuroLeague star, is the age of a rookie, so she's there as a long-term prospect. They got rid of Letitia Meher. The reason why they got, this is a team that's very, very much going all out with their Europeans. They are, they're going to be playing them. They're going to be playing them quite a lot. And of all the rookies, she's most likely to... I think she's going to be most likely to start. I think she might start at the 3. She might start at the 2. Heck, she might start at the 4, you know. She's someone that I think could be really nice as this season goes on. And again, I think she's in that conversation. She might be in the conversation for Rookie of the Year, but not one of the players that I really, really tip to win it, if we're being honest. But there is an outside chance that all goes well. She's a high enough level player that she can be in the conversation. But that would be my take on that. But at number 3, we've got Monique Okoro-Makani. And obviously with Salone, she's going to Eurobasket, which is a bit of an issue. But Okoro-Makani, again, 23 years old. It's not like Okoro-Makani or Janelle Salone are old. They're both 23. They're both the same age as Paige. But, she looked so good in France. She was dominating in France. Absolutely dominating. She looked exceptional. And she's going to start for the Mercury. She's going to start for a decent team. She might be the only rookie to start for a good team this year. And that means something. That does mean something. If she ends up in double digits and the Mercury end up as a 5th seed, she could be a high chance of... She could have a high chance of competing with Paige for Rookie of the Year, competing with Sonia Citron for Rookie of the Year. And with Alyssa Thomas, who is a very much a just facilitating player, it could help her. And everyone in my chat going, Euro players are overrated. I did not realize Cameroon was in Europe. I did not realize the Cameroon was in Europe. Like, that's all I'm going to say. I had no idea the Cameroon is in Europe. But Monique Akol-McCanny could be really, really, really good. And she's probably going to start. But number 2, we go back to college, and it is just solid Sonia Citron. Like, we've seen in preseason, like, I think Sonia Citron is going to be the main player to go towards, is going to put it up to Paige Bueckers. I think she's going to be the main player to do it. I think she's going to play the minutes to win Rookie of the Year. I think she's going to have enough role to win Rookie of the Year. The Mystics are going to stink. She's going to get a lot of shots. She's going to be able to handle the ball a little bit. She's going to be, I think she's going to play a bit of point guard for the Mystics. They're that struggling. She's going to guard a lot of players. I think Sonia Citron is going to be a real good pickup for the Mystics. And you can see why she went number 3 in the draft. I don't think, obviously, George Amor tore ACL. I don't think Kikiri Fenn's going to play as much. For the people wondering about Dominique Malonga, she's not going to play that much. Even though she's not going to Eurobasket, she wouldn't have even played that much for the French national team. She's not going to play that much for France. She's obviously not going to play that much for a WNBA playoff team. So that's just my thing with Malonga. But Sonia Citron, legit. Absolutely legit. Then, obviously your favorite for Rookie of the Year is Paige Bueckers. And I think going against Paige Bueckers is completely just going against the grain. Like, I think Paige Bueckers is likely to win Rookie of the Year this year at the start, as Caitlin was last year. It'll be interesting to see what happens. The only player that can stop Paige from winning Rookie of the Year is Paige. It's as simple as that. The only player that could stop Paige winning Rookie of the Year is Paige. And she should be the best rookie in this class. She's the most talented rookie in this class. She literally has no flaws. She has no flaws to her game. And she has better upside than she has better ability than a Sonia Citron. But I'm not questioning Sonia Citron's mentality. People in my chat are saying Olivia Nye. Olivia Nye is not, or is that not Olivia Nye? Is it Olivia Nye? Aaliyah Nye, sorry. It's like 3 a.m. Nye's not going to play enough to be Rookie of the Year. But the only player that will stop Paige from winning Rookie of the Year is Paige. The only thing that will stop Paige from being Rookie of the Year is Paige's mentality. That is it. Otherwise, Paige should win Rookie of the Year. She's going to get the opportunities, and maybe Citron's going to be in there. And maybe Laxa. If it turns out Laxa is starting for the Mercury and shooting the lights out, maybe Akol-McCanny, but it's Paige's to lose. It is 100% this award is Paige's to lose. So today we're making a weird prediction, and this is such a hard thing to predict. We are trying to predict the most improved player in the WNBA. Yeah, we're trying to predict who is going to be the MIP. And that is such a tough thing to predict because you just never know. You never know. Last year with the Dijonais, it could have went to Bridget Carlton. There are a lot of players that it could go to. And you just never know because sometimes players go to a bad team or their team and then their stats go up. It is a really tough one to see what's going to happen in most improved and who it could be. So I'm going to make guesses. I'm probably going to be so wrong. I'm going to be almost certainly so wrong with my most improved guesses. Like, this is just an absolute just shot in the dark. I'm going to be honest. That it is just a shot in the dark. And At number 5, and this is assuming this is if the Seattle Storm are going to be good. If the Seattle Storm are going to be good, Gabby Williams might go win Most Improved Player. Like if the Seattle Storm are the 4th seed and Gabby Williams pushes to 15 points per game, she just might go and get it. The shots are going to be there. The opportunity is going to be there for Gabby Williams to potentially be the MIP. Do I think she's going to get it? Probably not. Hence why Gabby Williams is as low down as she is. But she is going to get the chances to average 15 a game. It's doable. Don't think it would be a crazy call. And she's already a lockdown defender. She's going to have a bigger offensive load. And if the Storm are as good as some people say they're going to be, like competing for a top 3 seed, they're going to need Gabby Williams to average more than 10 points a game. And they're going to need to have Gabby Williams averaging 15, 5, and 5. And if she does that, then Gabby Williams in the MIP conversation is 100% going to be a thing. At number 4, we are going to have a player for the Connecticut Sun, Olivia Nelson-Ododa. So Olivia Nelson-Ododa averaged 3 points per game last year. She didn't play very much. She was a fine bench player. And I was really happy because there were rumors that Olivia Nelson-Ododa had been traded to the Fever for an Alyssa Smith. I was so happy when I heard that. I remember I saw like a weird thing where it was like Nelson-Ododa and a 2nd round pick for an Alyssa Smith. And it was a really, really interesting trade, and I was happy about it. But Nelson-Ododa's looked unbelievable in preseason, and I understand it's just preseason. Barely played in the playoffs last year, but she looked so good, and she's going to play more. I like Mazian as a coach, and I think having her in the top list for MIP is completely fair. And at number 3, people in my chat and people in the comment section are not going to be surprised. We got Camila Cardoso. We have Camila Cardoso, and I can't remember who. Someone on the Sky said the only person that can stop Camila Cardoso can stop Camila is Camila, and that's true. Just like the only person that can stop Paige Bueckers is Paige, the only person that can stop Camila Cardoso is Cardoso, and I think her averaging 15 points per game is doable. I think she could average 15 and 8. And that might not be enough to win MIP. And there are 2 players people in my chat are going on about. Chelsea Gray is actually in with a chance of winning MIP. I'm not joking with that. Diamond Miller is a really good shout as well. I don't have Diamond Miller in my 5. But some of my people in my chat are saying Diamond Miller. Diamond Miller's a really good shout. She averaged 2 points per game last year. Chelsea Gray is another actually half decent shout. But Camila Cardoso is no doubt about it one of the favourites to win MIP. You just never know. And for me, it's like there are going to be games. The reason why I don't have Camila Cardoso winning MIP is I don't think she's going to play as many minutes as people think. I think Camila Cardoso is going to play sub 30 a game because she's the best backup center in the WNBA and Elizabeth Williams, and they're not going to play Elizabeth Williams less than 15 minutes a game. They're just not. Elizabeth Williams could start for 7 WNBA teams. There is no way Elizabeth Williams okayed staying at the Sky to sit on the bench. So, no, I got Cardoso at 3. I think she could win it. I don't think it's a crazy statement to say Cardoso could win it, but I got her at 3. At number 2, we've got a player I actually think could average over 20 points per game this year. And it's Rickea Jackson. I rate Rickea Jackson really highly as an offensive player. Someone said Williams got DMPs last year. Elizabeth Williams, I'm just responding to my chat if you're watching this video. Elizabeth Williams started over Camila Cardoso last year, and then she got injured for the season. But Rickea Jackson right here is a absolutely fantastic player. and I think she could average 20 a game. I think Rukia legitimately has the chance to average 20. She averaged 13.4 last year. She averaged about 16 points per game last year. After the All-Star break, 16, 17. And she's only gotten better. She's going to be a complete, no ifs, ands, or buts about it, the number 2 option. And if Plum facilitates a bit more, she could be the 1 option. This is a team that's shooting more threes. And remember the old WNBA fans that they were talking about Rukia Jackson. They were like, oh, she's going to be ruined because they're going to force her to shoot the 3. No, she's going to be shooting more threes. She's going to be even better. She is going to be even better. Next season. And I would not be surprised to see her winning MIP. She's the betting favorite for a reason. She's the betting favorite for a reason. And yeah, I think that there's a very good chance she wins it. However, my most improved player is a player I think is going to average plus 10 points per game this season. And I think it's going to be a player from the Connecticut Sun, and I'm going to call JC Sheldon. Like, lads, there is a reason JC Sheldon went 5 last year. There is a reason why JC Sheldon went 5th in the draft last year. 5 points, 2 assists, 2.5, or 2.5 assists, 2.1 rebounds per game. I can see JC Sheldon. I think these Connecticut Sun stink. But I can see JC Sheldon going up to 15 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 5 assists. I can see her kind of running. I just see her being like one of their main scorers, because all like guards, wings work extremely well in the way Maziam plays. He gives guards freedom to do whatever the hell they want. Like, her and Mabry are going to be chucking mad stuff. They're going to be throwing anything at the basket. And this is a team where nobody can shoot other than her and Mabry. Nobody else in this team can shoot. So I can see her like being in the game long enough to get a lot of points. Again, it's going to be a good stats, bad team situation. But still, even good stats, bad team. It's something. It is something. And she didn't play much last year. I don't think she was that good last year when she played. She was fine when she played. But I do have to say, it's a weird choice for MIP, but she's my prediction for MIP, if we're being honest. And a lot of people are going to be going mad for Cardoso. I think Cardoso is going to play less minutes than last year. I think she's going to be better. But I've just this weird feeling JC Sheldon's going to average close to 15 a game. And again, this is MIP. Like, there's no like data that goes into what we're saying for this. Most of the time predicting MIP is I have a hunch. Like that's the like science of predicting MIP. Let's be real. And now we're going for 6th player of the year. Cool. What is my 6th player of the year? Yeah, cool. So the 6th player of the year in the WNBA is a really hard one to predict, because you don't know who's going to be starting, you don't know who's not going to be starting, you don't know what's going to happen. Like, an injury could mean an injury could literally mean that a player you predict to be 6th player of the year is a starter and they're out of the conversation. Or voters could vote on a player who came off the bench 5 times as 6th player of the year. Like, there was a voter who voted Marina Mabry 6th player of the year last year. I'm pretty sure she came off the bench like 5 games last year. But yeah, so these are my top 5. At number 5, we have got a very, very interesting one that people have forgot existed. It is Ty Harris. Ty Harris from the Dallas Wings. And the reason why I'm going to pick Ty Harris is I actually think she's one of the 4 best players on the Wings. It's just the Wings of Paige Bueckers and Enrique are going to start above her. She was a really good guard, a really good starter. A really good starter last year for the Connecticut Sun, who were one of the best teams in the W. She's gone from being a starter for one of the best teams to a bench player on one of the worst teams. But I still think that's going to be enough to be in that conversation. I don't think she's going to average 10.5 points per game this year, but she could average 8, 9, like 9 points per game, and Tiffany Hayes won it last year. 9 points per game as a bench player could genuinely get you or get you sixth player of the year. And I think if she manages to do that, it's been a solid year and she's in that conversation. At number 4 is a player that I just don't know how much she's going to play. That's the problem. Jessica Shepard. I don't know if Jessica Shepard, because she's playing behind 2 elite players in Alana Smith and Fee Collier. And she's missing part of the season for Eurobasket. Like, that's a fact. That's a fact. Like, she is missing part of the season for Eurobasket. Oh, sorry, it's not a fact. I assume she's going to Eurobasket. But she might be missing part of the season for Eurobasket. She is 6'4", young enough player, only a couple of weeks older than me. She's a really good post player. She can rebound, she can guard, she can hit free throws, she can pass really well. And all around, she's going to come in, whether it be at the 4 or the 5. She can play at the 5 with Fee, or she can play at the 4 with Alana Smith because of Alana Smith's ability to space the floor. And she'll come in and give a lot for the Connecticut Sun, or it's not Connecticut Sun, geez, the Minnesota Lynx. Sorry, it's 3:13 in the morning. I'm exhausted. But she can. I'm judging this on one preseason game and watching a couple of games of the Lynx 2 seasons ago when they kind of sucked when she was there, and I still think that that she's someone who was a pretty good WNBA player back in those days. Like, she has that potential to be one of the best bench players in the league, if we're being honest. She has that potential. And at number 3, we are going with Maureen Johannes. Maureen Johannes has a very, very good chance of being 6th player of the year. She is one of the most fun players in the sport of basketball, men or women. I'm sorry, she's perfected the Navarro, the one-legged three-point shot coming off the screen. Except she doesn't even do it coming off screen. She'll just, out of nowhere, she'll be wide open and she'll just take a dribble and just fire off one leg. She'll just kick her leg to the side and just shoot the 3. Doesn't matter. She'll be just standing there with the ball at her chest, just waiting. And while the defender's wondering what's going on, suddenly the ball's up. Like, the release is so quick. Maureen Johannes, she's the wizard for a reason. Everything Maureen Johannes does is flashy. And I don't know if there's more style than substance with Maureen Johannes. There is and I know, not even that I don't know, it's very likely that there's more style than substance with Johannes. I don't care. She's that fun to watch. Like, Maureen Johannes is that fun to watch. I don't care if there's more style than substance. I'm perfectly happy with having her. Because she can win you. She can lose you a game. She can win you a game. When was the last time she played? She played in the finals. She played 7 minutes in the game that they lost the finals in 2023. But, yeah, like, Maureen Johannes is a superb player that is just going to be so fun to watch. At number 2, we have got from the Chicago Sky, Elizabeth Williams. And people really underestimate how good Elizabeth Williams is. And I think for anyone predicting, like, Angel to put up more points or Camilla for MIP, like, they're being backed up by Elizabeth Williams and Beck Allen. They have the best 4-5 combination. Like, Elizabeth Williams and Beck Allen would start for the wings. That combo would start for the wings. That combo would start for not even just one of them. Both of them would start. Like, Elizabeth Williams would start for the wings. Elizabeth Williams would start for the Valkyries. Elizabeth Williams would start for the Sun. Elizabeth Williams would, maybe not for Tina Charles, but Elizabeth Williams would start for she'd start for Sparks, over Azari. She would start for the Aces. Wouldn't start for the Dream. She'd start for a lot of teams. She's not starting for Sky. But she's athletic. She's a lockdown defender. She's going to play 15 minutes per game, 16 minutes per game. She'd 100% start for the... I'd pick her over Shakira Austin for the Mystics. But she is as good as it gets as a bench big. No question, she's as good as it gets. And it's funny because you're going to be seeing the non-Sky but Angel Reese fans complaining that Elizabeth Williams is taking rebounds or taking minutes from Angel or taking minutes from stopping Camilla's development. If anything, Elizabeth Williams is going to be playing 15 to 20 a game beside them, is going to be the perfect vet. Even though their stats might be down this year, perfect vet for them to get better. Elizabeth Williams is extremely, extremely good. And if she's coming off the bench, she has to be in the conversation. But number one is from the Indiana Fever, Sophie Cunningham. I have Sophie Cunningham at number one. Sophie Cunningham is probably going to come in for the Fever and play 23 minutes per game. She's the fifth starter, or the sixth starter. She is the sixth starter. She's going to come in, whatever role is needed, whether she's playing the 1, whether she's playing the 3, whether she's playing the 4, whether she's playing the 2, whether she's playing the 5. But she is going to be coming in first off the bench, no matter what. She's going to be playing a ton of minutes. And I think she's coming off the bench. She's going to come off the bench to play starters minutes. And of all the players I'm looking at for 6th player of the year, she is probably the only one that is going to come off the bench and play starter minutes. And I don't know who else. There's going to be other players that do that, but I don't know who will be coming off the bench and playing starters minutes other than Sophie Cunningham in the league. So that's my prediction. 6th player of the year is going to be from the Indiana Fever, Sophie Cunningham. So now we're at Depoy. So we're going to go over this, and we're going to record Depoy, we're going to record MVP, and we're going to record 2 more videos. Then we are done. We're going to be done with this 3-hour-long stream. Over 3 hours long. And Jesus, you guys have been here for a long time. You guys have been here for a real long time. But today we're going to be talking about the Defensive Player of the Year, and I'm going to be predicting my top 5 Defensive Player of the Year candidates in the WNBA. And I think that it's going to be a really interesting one to see because it's hard to predict Depoy. It's really hard to predict Depoy because you just never know what the criteria is going to be. You never know what the voters are going to do. There's definitely going to be voter fatigue right here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I've got one guard on my top 5. And I'm going to predict that, surprisingly, I'm going to predict Jackie Young. Because I think Jewel Lloyd's going to take more of an offensive load. And I think Jackie Young's going to take a bit of a defensive load. I'm going to predict that Jackie Young is going to be the Depoy. I think she's going to guard the other team's best player every single game. I think she's going to take less shots than last year. I think Jewel Lloyd is going to be chucking. And I think they're going to be heavily reliant on the defensive end. And I think Jackie Young is the best defensive player, in my opinion, on the Aces. Even though I'm predicting another Aces player higher, I think Jackie Young's the best defender on the Aces. I think voters use Hassan Whiteside nomics, but I don't like Hassan Whiteside nomics. If it was my call, one of my higher numbers wouldn't be there. But at number 4, if you guys are looking at this thumbnail from the stream, we're putting her in at number 4. Angel Reese is going in at 4. The Depoy from Unrivaled, and I'm going to be honest, she is a very, very solid or good defender when she wants to be. And I think Angel Reese is going to focus on defense this year more so than anything. I think she's going to be a better defender when she wants to be. She's a top 5 or 6 defender in the W. Whether you like to admit it or not, she is when she wants to be. So I'm going to put her at number 4 because I do think there's going to be people voting for Depoy. Because people voted for all defensive last year and she stopped playing defense. She stopped running back on defense after 10 games and people still voted for all defense. For that reason, she's probably going to be all defensive first team, if we're being honest. And one player, like a lot of people are talking about in the comment section, there's no one. I think Alana Smith should be in the conversation. No one's going to vote for Alana Smith. Even though she's the best. Alana Smith was the best defensive player last year on the Lynx. But it did not matter that Alana Smith was their best defender. Nafisa Collier won Depoy, and I have her as my 3rd this year. I have Nafise Collier as third. Why? I think there's a near 0% chance Nafise wins Defense Player of the Year. First of all, again, there is voter fatigue. And also, when coaches and the media come out to complain about you winning an award, you never win 2 in a row. You never win 2 in a row. I mean that. When people are coming out in the media being like, this person didn't deserve to win this award, they will never win 2 in a row. Fee could average 7 blocks and 7 steals and she's not winning DPOY. I still think she's going to be a lock for all defensive first team. But there's no way she wins DPOY. Absolutely none. And I was considering not even putting her in my top 5 because I just thought there was no chance of her winning DPOY. And number 2, I think this player is the best interior defender. Why did I put a Z in Magbagor? Ezzy, she is, in my opinion, the best interior defender in the WNBA. Like, she doesn't block as many shots as Aja, but she's a better shot blocker, if you get me. Like, teams aren't scared to go to the basket when Aja's there. Teams are scared to go to the basket when Ezzy Magbagor's there. Like, we saw, there is no player that neutralized the Leah Boston like Ezzy Magbagor. There is nothing. There is nothing the teams could do sometimes with Magbagor. She's there in the paint. She not only alters shots, she blocks shots, she alters shots, she plays vertical. She can, obviously, defensive rebound is pretty good. But for me, she was an unbelievable defender last year. And she was the best interior defender. She was my pick for DPOY last year. Like, any game I watched, I thought Ezzy Magbagor was the Storms. She anchored the Storms defense. She absolutely anchored the Storms defense. And for me, again, I think that matters. It matters a lot more than people think. And people just used the numbers. People just looked at the numbers. The numbers, Mason, what do they mean? They don't mean anything at the end of the day. You gotta just watch the games, which is why Fee won DPOY last year. Ezzy Magbagor, in my opinion, should be in that conversation. But we all, like, do you know how the MVP was decided before a ball was dribbled this last year? The Defensive Player of the Year is decided. And yeah, there are players that could be in the conversation for DPOY. There are other players. Dejanay, if somehow the wings can play defense. The person who says they're going to win DPOY and Tash Howard. If Tash Howard wins DPOY, I promise I will buy a Tash Howard jersey. I was about to say I promise I will go to a Tash Howard game, but like, if you think I'm going to America this year, I would rather I would rather not be deported. So I would I'd rather first of all get in the country, which I don't think I will, even if it's a freaking holiday at this stage, and I don't want to be deported either. But I'm gonna be honest, the Defensive Player of the Year has already been decided. It's already been decided, and it is Aja Wilson. She's the DPOY. Give it to her. Give Aja Wilson the DPOY. It's over. It's over. Like, it has been decided. Aja Wilson's the Defensive Player of the Year. When the entire Aces team wore Aja Wilson jerseys out of protest for her not winning DPOY last year. She didn't win DPOY. And this is before MVP was announced. She didn't win DPOY, so the whole team at a protest wore her jerseys. She won it. She won it. Just like when Aja Wilson started talking about how the 4th place voter and all that stuff, she won MVP before she dribbled a basketball last year. She has won Defensive Player of the Year before a ball has been dribbled. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, the Defensive Player of the Year, of all the awards, including Paige winning Rookie of the Year, the Aja Wilson Defensive Player of the Year has already been decided. She could block 0.1 shots per game. And it has already been decided, lads. So, I don't really care about the other 4 players. It doesn't matter. The DPOY has already been decided. Like, she blocks a lot of shots because she kind of hangs around the paint and doesn't guard. Kia Stokes guards the other team's best player, best big. She just hangs around the paint and blocks shots. She will win by Hassan Whiteside-nomics. Jackie Young is the best defender on the Aces. But AJ Wilson guaranteed to win. And for people saying, stop with the political BS for going to America. Like, you do know what job I work, don't you? You do know what job I work. If I state that I am going for my reason for going over to America and I don't lie, and I say I'm going to go to a game, because of the job I work, I'm going to be interrogated to prove that I'm not going to be working there. And then inevitably, because there's a possibility of me working because of what my job, because there is a possibility of me working, I will be not allowed into the country. Like, you do realize that, don't you? Like, because of the job I do, unless I'm going with, like, my family on a family holiday, if I'm going by myself to go to a basketball game, even if it's to watch a game, I will not be allowed in the country. Like, I'm full of crap. I've been interrogated. I was interrogated in 2019 from entering America because of my job. I was interrogated. I was brought into a room. They went through my phone. I was interrogated in 2019 because of my job. I went to San Diego for a month to get drunk, get a work visa. It is impossible. To get a work visa for America, it will cost me $5,000 and it will take 6 months to get, and I don't think I qualify. First of all, I don't think I qualify. Two, even if I did, it would cost me $5,000 minimum, and it would take 6+ months to get. And I would need to work for an American company. You need all those things. Like, people being like, I'm full of crap. I have literally been, but I got in. Like, I don't know how I got in. But I got in. Dude, I got brought into a room, interrogated by TSA security in Ireland, by the way. They went through all my phone, went through all of everything, and basically warned me that if I made a YouTube video, I was never going to get back into America again. So yeah, I got kind of like, it scared the bejesus out of me in 2019, and we're back to that. We're back to that now. So I'm not saying I'm not going to go to America. I'll gladly go to America, but I'm not going to America to go to a game. Like, that's for that specific reason, I can't go. I cannot go to watch a basketball game. I am not risking, because if I don't get into America once, there's like a visa waiver scheme. If I get refused once, I'm no longer eligible for the visa waiver, which means I have to go to the embassy every time I want to enter America. If I get cancelled once. Basically, a blogger just saw a New Zealand family vlog their whole trip in the US. They're not supposed to. They're not supposed to. Let's be honest. They're not supposed to. It's just not. You're not supposed to. You're not even supposed to answer work emails. You're not supposed to. You can. You're not meant to. And I'm not risking it. I'm not risking it when there's no benefit. There's no benefit to it. So I'm not risking it. Just like, sure, I had to not go to a 2K trip years ago. A lot of people denying the reality. I don't really care about how people see America. I care about the fact that I've already been interrogated, and it's 10 times. You're 10 times more likely to be interrogated now than 6 years ago, and I've already been interrogated. Like, I've already been interrogated trying to get into the country. So, I've never broken any rules. I've never worked in America. I've never done, while I was a sole trader, I've never worked in America. Yeah, like I've never done anything that I'm not meant to. I could come to America for a game and don't post a YouTube video about it. Once I get in the country, it doesn't matter what I do. The problem is I won't get in the country. They won't let me into the country if I say I'm going for a game. That's the problem. That is the problem. Arguing about something I've experienced is like hitting my out of brick wall. Yeah. Yeah. Like I remember I nearly didn't get into E3 one year. I paid to go to E3, which was a big gaming festival for gaming. I paid to go. I paid for everything. And they just believed that like I was working there. And I'm like, here's my ticket. I paid $500 to go to this. Clearly I've paid. Oh, they stopped me walking out of the airport in LAX as well because I looked suspicious. They were like, you're a 22-year-old traveling by yourself. You're trying to stay for the summer and work here. And I'm like, I'm not. I'm flying back in a week. Oh, it's not fun. It's not fun. Trust me. It's not fun. Trust me. That's all I'm going to say. As a man traveling by yourself and as a 20-something-year-old man traveling by yourself, was it easy to enter the finals last year? Yes. Yes, so easy. Walk in, where are you going? Oh, going to a basketball game. Who's playing? Minnesota. It's like, oh, I didn't realize the Timberwolves are playing. Oh no, it's a WNBA game. The Minnesota Lynx are playing. I might try to catch a Timberwolves game. Oh, enjoy. You're ex-Australian defense and you were questioned for 2 days. Like, I used to make 2K videos and I got questioned for it. I almost missed my flight. Like, I made 2K videos. I wanted to go to San Diego and drink with my friends for a month, and I nearly didn't get in because I made 2K videos. But yeah. And the worst part is I didn't even work. I prepped all my videos. I didn't even do anything over there. They threaten World Cup fans. Like, yeah, I don't know. I'm happy out in Ireland. Anyway. Don't want to go. But, so, the WNBA MVP. The WNBA MVP. All I'm going to say is, it's going to be an interesting one. I have my top 5 players right here. Prediction for the MVP. And this is going to be my last of the WNBA preview. I have been live for 3 hours by the end of this video. I will have been live for 3 entire hours. So if you guys could subscribe if you're in the live stream, it'd be greatly appreciated. And also leave a like. We're at 148 if you guys are watching this from on the stream. But I'm going to be going for my top 5 MVP predictions this season. And at number 5, we're going to have Sabrina Ionescu. I think Sabrina looked pretty good in preseason. And Sabrina was a player that was in the top 5. Was number 2 for quite a bit of the year. Her and Fee were kind of like hovering around Asia in the conversation for a while. And obviously she was horrendous post-Olympic break. I thought she was alright in the playoffs. Thought she was fine. Like, she obviously had 1-19 game, wasn't good. But like, I mean, I was there. If you look at the channels, the main video, the like video on the main page, when she hit the step back 25-footer, or like, not 25, 27-footer in on Kayla McBride to win the game 3. I was there. I was courtside for that game. And yeah, Sabrina Ionescu is someone that's going to put up similar stats to last year. She's going to put up similar stats to last year, and I do think similar stats to last year at least puts her in the conversation. It genuinely puts her in the conversation, especially if they end up winning, say, 30. If they go 35-9, which is a good possibility. Legitimate possibility of that. So, yeah, I'm going to have Sabrina at 5. At number 4, this is a bit of a surprise, but I just think voter fatigue in there's only one person who's ever won WNBA MVP twice in a row, and it was the first 2 seasons of the WNBA. I'm putting Aja at 4. I'm putting Aja Wilson at 4, and I think for her to win MVP, she's going to have to be better than last year. And I don't know if she can be better than last year. I don't know if she can average 27-12 again. Like, if she averages 25 and 11 and 10, it's a fantastic season. She's not winning MVP. Like, for you to win back-to-back MVPs, you have to be better in year 2 than in year 1. Nash was better in year 2 than year 1. Jokic was better in year 2 than year 1. For some reason, Jokic not winning back-to-back again this time is crazy in the NBA. But to win back-to-back, you got to be better in the second year than you are in the first year. And I don't know if I don't know if AJ Wilson's going to be better than last year. I really don't. I think she's going to get some MVP votes, but I think she's going to be not in the conversation, but I think it's going to be a conversation that's going to be about other players. And number 3. Now, this is... Sorry, Cindy Cooper was second and third year, someone was saying. This is my weird prediction, and it is a big if. If the Mercury somehow are good, which they could be, my third prediction for third in MVP is Alyssa Thomas. Like, Alyssa Thomas finished above AJ Wilson for MVP 2 years ago. I can see Alyssa Thomas going back to what she did in 2023, which was like 50. I'm pretty sure it was like 15, 9, and 7. Or was it 15, 10, and 7? Like, I can see her leading to W in assists, being top 3 or 4 in rebounds, and averaging 14 a game. She was very close to being the triple single last year. I just have a weird feeling. The Mercury are going to be way better than people think they are. I think they're going to be way better than we all think. And I think she could average 15, 10, and I think she's going to lead the W in assists. I don't think Caitlin's doing it. I think it's going to be Alyssa Thomas. I think Caitlin's going to... I think Stephanie White might try to turn Caitlin into freaking Paige. Thank you so much for the $5. Really appreciate that. Thank you. But yeah, I do genuinely think that Alyssa Thomas is going to be in that conversation. If she wins an MVP without being able to lift her two arms above her head, that would be extremely impressive. But I've got her at number 3. There's 2 players that I think are going to be in the MVP race, or it's going to be the MVP fight the entire season. But players that are like... I'm trying to think players that could be like honorable mentions. I think Kelsey Plum is going to be an honorable mention. I think she is. I think... I'm trying to think of who else could be an honorable mention. Kelsey Plum is an interesting one. I don't think she's going to be top 5, but you never know. You never know. But number 2, we have got Caitlin Clark. Now, Caitlin might have been number 1 for me if it just wasn't for the last game. Like, the motion offense that the Fever are trying to run is going to bring down her counting stats. It is. Like, Caitlin might average more. Her usage rate is going to be down. Her turnovers are probably going to go down. But ironically, her turnovers are going to go down, but her assists are going to go down. So everyone's going to be like, oh, she was better last year. But the turnovers crew are going to find something else. But it would not, like, if Caitlin averages 20 points, if she averages the same stat line as she did last year, and she can average the same stat line, and the Fever are the 2nd seed, or the 3rd seed, she's probably going to win MVP. But I have a really weird feeling. I predict 18, 5, and 7. That's my prediction. I think 18, 5, and 7 is my prediction for Caitlin Clark. And the Fever are going to be better. But if it turns out she averages 18, 5, and 7, and the Indiana Fever are the 5th seed, I don't even think she makes the all WNBA first team if that's the case. Like, I think her numbers are going to go down. I think she's improved. I think she's improved as a player. I think her efficiency is going to go up. But I think her counting stats are going to go down. However, again, if she puts up the exact same stats as she does last year, and the Fever are a top 3 seed, she's probably going to win it. But a lot of people are like, she's going to be... wants to chip more than MVP. I agree with that too. I don't think she gives a damn about winning MVP. For people who think 11 assists, she's not going to have the ball in her hands. People are saying in my chat 11 assists. She's not going to have the ball in her hands enough to have 11 assists. She's just not going to have the ball in her hands. So, for me, The runaway favorite, in my opinion, for MVP is Fee Collier. Fee is the runaway favorite. She's going to put up 20 a game again. She's going to... she's got to average close to 10 boards again. She might average 10 boards again. She's going to put up similar stats. And I have the links to the 1 seed. She's not only going to do that, she's going to do that while playing arguably the best defense in the WNBA. I think it would be a shock if Fee doesn't win MVP. It would be a shock. She's been the best player. She was the best player in the world last year. She averaged 40 points per game in the first round of the playoffs. She was robbed of a finals MVP. She won unrivaled MVP, and then, unfortunately, they just lost one big game. They lost a game they shouldn't have lost in unrivaled. But, yeah, Fee is my favorite by quite a lot for MVP. I'm not going to lie. Fee is my favorite by quite a bit. And for me, I think anyone outside my top 4, I think just having Sabrina at 5, I don't think she has a chance. I don't think Age is going to do it again. But if Age has another historic season, it is what it is. But yeah, I think it's going to be a one horse. I think it's going to be Fee's to lose. And you just never know. You never know. People in my chat are saying teams are going to figure Fee out this year. Well, that's the thing. You can't really figure out Fee because of the way a team that actually runs a motion offense properly in the Minnesota Lynx. You can't send double teams of Fee because of the off-ball move, and she's going to hit people for layups. You can't just simply figure out Fee. You can't figure out, just like you can't figure out Caitlin, but you simply cannot figure out Fee. But anyway, yeah, that's the video. Oh, sorry lads, I'm so tired. It is 3:43 in the morning. It's 3:43 in the morning, lads. I've been live for 3 hours. This stream, I plan on streaming for 2 hours today. So we're going to be talking about Isaiah Thomas. We're going to be talking about the Isaiah Thomas situation. Which is crazy. Which is absolutely crazy. But yeah, the Isaiah Thomas situation is absolutely crazy. So I tweeted this out earlier. For anyone, I'm guessing people have made videos about this, have they? I'm guessing people have made videos about this, and if they have, I don't even care. I got to talk about this. Like, we tweeted about this as soon as it was announced. But lads, we gotta talk about this, lads. We gotta talk about this. This is mental. This is absolutely mental. Like, Isaiah Thomas, one of the greatest point guards of all time, one of the greatest NBA players of all time. Like, we're talking top 40 NBA players of all time. He is out here talking about Caitlin Clark and Tyrese Halliburton. He's out here talking about freaking Caitlin and Tyrese Halliburton, and this is what he said. When he walked in, I said, he's walking in like Caitlin Clark. This is a Caitlin Clark type of game. Spreading the floor right, shooting it from way out there. I think Halliburton is watching Caitlin. I see a lot of her game in his game right now. There's no way that he just came out with this. Fair play. Like, maybe this would be true if Halliburton hadn't been doing it for longer. Let's be real. Tyrese Halliburton. Sacramento Kings Tyrese Halliburton was not doing this. Sacramento Kings Tyrese Halliburton was not doing this. Opposite way. I'd rather see CC adopt Halliburton's game. He's smart, pass the ball efficiency with little to no turnovers. CC is special, so is Hallie. I'm sorry. I don't want Caitlin to stop trying mad stuff. It's, you know, if Caitlin Clark would average very few turnovers per game, if everyone could catch her passes like NBA players could. But I've said that, or something similar. I also believe Lexi Hull got so much better, more confident because of being around Caitlin. are we really crediting? Like, we know for a fact Halliburton was watching Caitlin. What I think is the craziest thing about this, though, is this line right here. He walked in, I said, he's walking in like Caitlin Clark. That might be one of the craziest statements I have ever heard about an NBA player. And you can't say that is a normal statement to make. He's walking in like Caitlin Clark. Halliburton wasn't bad in Sacramento. He wasn't bad in Sacramento, but he wasn't this Tyrese Halliburton in Sacramento. Let's be completely honest. He wasn't this version of Tyrese Halliburton. But it's a real it's a surprise, I was saying. And to be honest, if we're honest, the Pacers don't lose when Caitlin Clark is there, so maybe he's onto something. Maybe Isaiah Thomas is onto something here. Maybe he knows more than we do. So people in my chat are saying the rising CC22 boat raises all the water. The motion offense pokes a hole. I don't know. The motion offense is the whole. I actually don't know what people are exactly trying to come out with there. But all I know is that the Pacers don't lose when Caitlin Clark is there. The Pacers just straight up, they don't lose. And it seems the Caitlin Clark effect is well and truly a thing. We saw it with Iowa. We saw how well Iowa played with Caitlin Clark there. And Caitlin Clark not in attendance for their game against for their tournament game against Oklahoma, and they get destroyed. It gets destroyed. And it's just, again, a big shock to the old system when you're seeing an NBA player talking about a WNBA player, or former NBA player talking about an NBA player trying to be like a WNBA player. Like, have we ever heard that before? Like, everyone, like, people were saying back in the day, it's like, oh, you know what? Caitlin Clark, she shoots it like she's Curry. And the fact, looking at Tyrese Halliburton, an NBA great, is like, you know, he's playing like Caitlin Clark. Has that comparison ever been made? Have people said, you know, oh, they played like Taurasi? I don't think so. I don't think we ever heard people going out there and saying, I don't know, that guard in the NBA, they played like Taurasi. Or Kevin, no, maybe not Kevin Durant, because she came out after. Maybe Michael Porter Jr. being like, you know, that MPJ, that Michael Porter Jr. guy, he's playing like Elena Deladon out there. Like, no one's ever, not even Maya Moore, not even Candace Parker would have been talked about like this. Like, the way former NBA players talk about Caitlin Clark, you can see that there is a respect from players. Like, there's a respect from players just of basketball. And it's just a mad one. It's just mad. It's just all around mad. Just seeing what is happening with Caitlin Clark and women's basketball. Like, there is a respect level from basketball fans, basketball players, that I think the likes of Taurasi, Maya Moore got that level of respect. Lisa Leslie, all these players from the players. But you wouldn't, as much as there was respect, you wouldn't hear outwardly people always compare WNBA players to NBA players. That's kind of a given. Just like people always compare young players to older players. People always compare. It's a good comparison. We have never seen an NBA player be compared to a WNBA player before. And not only that, we have never seen an NBA star be compared to a WNBA player. Like, Tyrese Halliburton's a star. And Tyrese Halliburton being vote most overrated is crazy. And you're now seeing, like, basically one of the greats almost being like, you know what? He needs to be more like Caitlin. Which is the highest compliment you can get. That's almost the highest compliment that any of these WNBA players can get, if we're being honest, is that they are being spoken about in the same breath as NBA players. And it's like that there's that level. The sport's being taken seriously. And it's like, it's just something we never would have thought would have happened. We never did. Like, I had plenty of conversations about the WNBA back in the day with people about what they needed to kind of do to grow it. And I was like, maybe, have it on the same time as the NBA. And if the NBA game's on at 8 p.m., the WNBA game's on at 6 p.m. and parents might just bring their kids to the WNBA game and play them in half full arenas, which is better than what they were doing. And this is like 5 years ago. And now we're at the stage where, when it comes especially to, it's very few players, but when it comes to number 22 in Indiana, there is a respect level that people are talking about her with that is like as much respect as some of the greats of basketball. Let's be honest. But yeah, it's a good thing to see. It's an objectively good thing to see this. And yeah, I do want to apologize, like 4 a.m. recording this if I'm losing a bit of train of thought more than I normally do anyway. Well, I'll see you guys. But yeah, so I might record one more video if you guys want. Is there any other topics that you want me to cover? If there's no other topics you want me to cover, I will end stream. Conversations are no longer about the legitimacy of the league, but about the actual play. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And I think I might make a video about that tomorrow or Thursday or Friday, where I'm a bit more coherent and it's not 4 a.m. And I haven't been working. Go to bed. I can always make an emergency video. Yeah, I kind of want to sleep. Anyway, I will see you guys ASAP. Thank you guys for telling me to go to sleep. But yeah, I'm going to sleep. The only positive thing is like 4 a.m. I can sleep till 12. That's the real positive thing about this. But anyway, I will see you guys. Bye.